Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a very special episode of TFS at the Table. It'll be a round table discussion about what could potentially be this year's biggest release. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming next week, unless they decide to delay it one more time for old time's sake.
I mean, just for laughs.
I thought this was about Jump Force. I thought we were going to talk about Jump Force.
Nobody is talking about Jump Force. Stefan, you have a, 21-page document of the full chronological history and breakdown of Kingdom Hearts?
Yes, we will not be going through every single bullet point, but they are here for just to refer to.
Right.
Yay.
As we go along.
Yeah, you have a guided, a study guide, essentially, to catch everybody up on Kingdom Hearts.
I've done so much goddamn research on this stupid
And
fucking
now you
story.
have to show it off for the internet.
I love this stupid fucking story, but it's so fucking stupid, and it's beautiful.
Remember when the first Kingdom Hearts came out and you're like, oh, Disney and Final Fantasy is so cool. Look, I'm working with Mickey and Goofy and
great
Simba.
So yeah, I guess you've thrown most of this together, Stefan. So I don't know if
Yes.
So you're going to lead us off.
Yeah, and I just want to, I want to start off by saying we're going to discuss the entire story that's important as that we know about.
So no Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers.
No, absolutely not.
We don't I don't know how many out there exist.
A lot of people have leaked a lot of stuff, so it is
boy.
very possible to see a lot
I
of
have not
spoilers.
seen any of it, so we will stay off of that.
Yeah, we will not discuss the details of Kingdom Hearts 3. We will only discuss what the story has been so far. And if you haven't seen the story before, we will try to actually catch you up while hopefully being entertaining.
Are we going to talk about our theories on everything?
You can talk about your theories once we've gotten
man.
through them.
But
Okay.
the thing I'm excited about is that you're not doing this chronologically with the way the story plays
Absolutely
out.
not, because that is a lie. If
Tell
you
me.
cover the story in quote unquote chronological order in universe,
Okay.
it's a fucking lie because it leaves out all the retcons. It's not an authentic Kingdom Hearts experience. The authentic
okay.
experience is experiencing everything changing for no reason. Yeah, let's get started. For those of you who don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts, something to be aware of.
Get ready for a
before
trip.
we get in. Yeah, that Kingdom Hearts exists in a world run by what I like to call quantum metaphysics.
Okay.
It's very metaphysical, but beyond what normal metaphysical shit even does. It has its own logic that it sometimes decides to explain to you. So let's get started. First off, I guess before we go, we get really into it. What's everybody else's experience with Kingdom Hearts?
Well-
starting with Scott.
Yeah,
and
let's
going
just go down the
Okay.
table.
So I've played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
All right, so you played the chronological games. Gotcha.
And
And
what-
you made everything in the series.
And what's your reference point for the story as a whole?
I've actually watched summary videos.
Okay.
I've watched summary videos. I tried to play some Birth by Sleep, but it was on an emulator because who owns a PSP? And it wasn't out on the PS4 yet.
Good
so.
people who like good consoles.
So, yeah, I ended up, I wanted, like, now that I actually own the full PS4, like, here's
the story
basically,
so far,
all
yeah.
the games. So maybe one of these days I'll actually play Birth by Sleep because I heard it's actually one of the best Kingdom Hearts
It's
games.
pretty good,
So-
admittedly.
So
Everybody knows, I think everybody here who's a longtime viewer at least knows my experience. I played 1 and 2 when they came out on the PlayStation 2. Loved them. Did not play any of the supplementary games until we did our Streamdom Hearts retrospective. Grant, Kieran, and I, and sometimes Howard, busting our asses, getting all the way through all of the games. And this was back, like, I think two or 3 years ago. And we were with, like, bright minds, like, oh, maybe we'll have a release date for 3 by the time we're done. And no, we didn't.
We almost didn't have a release date until we were halfway into Metal Gear Solid, the
Yeah.
thing we started after that.
But we did make it all the way to Aqua's extra story.
Yes.
So we did admittedly make it to the next Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah. I played Kingdom Hearts 1 when it first came out, played Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance, played 2, skipped Birth by Sleep because I also did not have a PSP. Got the 3DS one, later went back and played Birth by Sleep on Kieran's bum-ass PSP that was missing a right stick and frequently had the left trigger like click in and lock. So I had a very bad experience with Birth by Sleep on my first time through it. But then played the remasters on PS3, played the phone game a tiny bit, played it for maybe like the first week it came to America or whatever.
do you know anything about the story of the phone game?
Nope.
Okay.
I did play some of the phone game. I did.
Okay.
Yeah, the like the latest one. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
The one that takes place before everything.
yeah.
So just for reference, when it comes to the mobile game, you two do not have any sort of
Any
experience with the
idea?
story.
No,
Okay.
I blitzed. Like I read some of the shit that they were spouting at me. But I'm like, I'm not. I don't care. Let me go beat up things.
And I played Point 2 and watched the back cover movie, which we also did on the
Yes.
retrospective.
Oh, I've seen that movie. I
Yeah.
actually watched that movie.
I get that reference.
So that's about where I'm at. I've definitely read a couple summary things, but it has mostly been in passing and glancing like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that connection or that theoretical possible maybe connection. Huh.
Yeah.
That's about where I'm at.
Now, Tyler, where are you at when it comes
Oh
to
man,
Kingdom Hearts?
I've been playing it since it actually came out, and I've picked up every game when it came out.
Like on
And
release?
then
Oh,
I
man.
just
Like every iteration,
Yes,
like you have
every one of them.
1.5.
I only bought a PSP to play Birth by Sleep, and I pre-ordered the special edition. Just
Okay,
for
so
that.
you're way into this.
I have,
would you
I have
consider?
tattoos of
Stefan,
Kingdom Hearts.
Yes. Would
So
you?
what are you
And-
doing over here? You should be leaving this. Come on.
Yeah.
man.
Would you consider
And-
yourself an expert on the lore?
Actually, kind of, because I just there's a
Are you a wiki mod?
there is a timeline out there called the Everglow timeline where it's
Mouse.
everything in chronological order as it appears, and I just finished watching that, and it's 3 days long.
It is
So
a
on top of
72-hour video
On top of
series.
playing all the games multiple times and thinking I understood, rewatched everything. Now I kind of understand more, and I have less questions. But I love this franchise, and I know everything. Come at me.
Come at
Well.
you, roll.
And when it comes to me, I
Did a lot of research.
Yeah.
I've
You
learned-
were prepping for this. This conversation was your baby, as I recall.
Yeah, I brought it up as like a thing. I was gonna make a video on my own YouTube channel about it, and instead I decided, you know what, it might be fun to just get everybody together
In
and just-
preparation for next week.
Yes, and very much anticipating that, and I think everybody here is to some extent.
I released my top 5 games I'm anticipating for the admittedly early part of this year. Kingdom Hearts is up there in the top 3.
Cool. And with that said, I think we can get started and get into Kingdom Hearts 1, released in 2002 on the PS2.
Yeah, I know this one.
Classic.
So, if you know this one, would you like to
Yes, I will
summarize the
explain
story
the
from beginning
story.
to
Tell us
end?
what happened.
Okay, so there's a boy named Sora, and he's growing up on these islands called Destiny Islands. Apparently, he's on an island that's not necessarily this little hub world that they typically play on, but he rows his little boat out there every morning, I guess. I don't know. We never really see how he gets out there. He hangs out there with his friends from Final Fantasy X and 8, and also Riku, who is not from Final Fantasy X, but a different Riku. That one.
Yeah.
And Kyrie, the little girl next door love interest that both of them are like, haha, we're so cool. We're like, one of us gets to date her. Hey, let's fight over her. Because
Yeah.
that's how this
Because we're
shit works.
boys.
Mickey! So they have a bunch of little fun competitions. Fun competitions. I forgot to put the quote on there.
Oh, okay.
And, eventually they decide to split a Pao-Poo fruit and name a boat. And canonically, I believe Sora wins. And all of a sudden, shit's going crazy. These little guys are just popping out of the sand. And Kyrie's blacking out, and Sora's like, I gotta protect people. And he goes into this fucking universe, he gets sucked in down there by these guys. He goes into this stained glass universe with a bunch of Disney princesses, which he also had a dream of a few nights ago, where he had to decide, hey, look, you know what? I like rods and shields. That was his decision.
His canonical
Decision was rods
not a
and
fan of
shields.
swords.
Yeah, did not like swords.
Did not live by the sword, that Sora.
And then he's given a key. This is way too big. But it also beats the shit out of these little guys.
And I want to say, meanwhile, while they're on the island, Donald and Goofy are hanging out in Disney Castle.
Yeah, yeah,
And they find
at
out
this
that
very
King
moment.
Mickey is gone.
Yeah, King
'Cause he's
Mickey
a
has
king.
disappeared. Lord King Mickey,
Mickey
the
the
mouse, the gobbler of all.
High
But
King Mouse.
He leaves them a mission to go out and do.
Pluto, yeah, but he's delivered it by Pluto, and he walks out there and is like, and they're like, what? Can you do a Donald? Yeah, like that.
No.
And Goofy's like, gosh, the king's gone. And Minnie's like, I'm too powerful for this shit. You do it. And so they go out there looking for Mickey. And meanwhile, Sora ends up in this little secret cave, and Kyrie blacks out and gets sucked into this portal, and Sora gets sucked in, but there's this weird burlap guy there.
And for a moment, like Sora and Kyrie sort of like...
Yeah, they like zap through each other like...
It's a big, good trailer shot.
They phase through each other, and then the opening theme hits, and you're all like, what the fuck's happening? And then Sora ends up in a place called Traverse Town, which is just a city in the middle of a fucking multiverse. That's literally all that planet seems to be.
No, yeah, it's where people who don't have a world end up. Like, if they lose their world, they show up in Traverse Town.
And that's why a lot more people from Final Fantasy VIII show up, as well as a bunch of people from Final Fantasy VII. And they end up there, and that's where Sora starts running into some weird shit, like more of these little guys, and he starts beating them up. But then he runs into Donald and Goofy. And he's like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, looking for a king. He's like, well, I'm looking for my friends. Maybe we could help each other. And they're like, all right.
Yeah, and you know, a key thing, is that Sora learns that the Keyblade is a very special weapon that chose Sora specifically so that he could fight the Heartless.
Like the mighty Excalibur.
It can unlock everything. It's that one up there, though.
Yeah, I know. This is Mickey's, right?
Yeah, this is Mickey's.
Mickey stole this one.
Which, spoiler, Mickey
Also has one.
We'll get to that in Kingdom Hearts.
At the end of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah, yes, it's a very special weapon that specifically chose Sora so that he could fight Heartless, and it opens any lock in the world.
It's just great. You can use it for anything. It fires a little beam at it.
Taps it on treasure chest.
It is a one-of-a-kind weapon that nobody else has.
Only one of these exists in the universe until stated otherwise.
It is the Keyblade.
You can't be handed a Keyblade because it will just go into the wielder's hand. As we see with Leon, right?
They're like when they meet Leon, I mean Squall, I mean Leon.
Yeah, he has two names, and I think not ever played a Final Fantasy game. I have no idea why. Like in Traverse Town, talking with Leon is also how Sora learns what the Heartless are, which they are monsters that are made from people's corrupted hearts. Someone gets darkness in their heart, and it overcomes their heart, and they turn into a Heartless.
And then they leave their bodies behind. What happens to them? Nobody knows.
Yeah. And important in this, a heart in Kingdom Hearts is not the physical heart, but it's also not your soul.
Yeah, it is a metaphysical heart that is also not the soul, that is also not the body. It's just a physical representation of malice and...
Hearts have light in them and darkness in them.
Kingdom Hearts is light and darkness. It is also the moon.
It is also where your emotions come from.
But we'll get to that.
The heart controls your saturation.
And also important to note that hearts have a memory outside of your actual memory. They remember things that you don't.
Too.
I just want to note that right now, like what a heart is in Kingdom Hearts, because
it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it is not the thing pumping blood through my body. It is not my soul.
No.
It is okay.
It is a thing that has light and darkness and emotions.
All right,
as we continue
if we say that the soul is sort of the metaphysical body, then the heart is the personality.
Kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Baby.
We'll get into what
really
a soul
knows.
is later, because a soul does exist in Kingdom Hearts.
Shut the fuck
So
up.
as we move forward, they decide, okay, we're going to travel together to help, you're going to help us find the king, because you got the Keyblade. You can fight these things. And, we're wasting your potions, so we'll stick around. And so you travel with Donald and Goofy, and you travel to many magical worlds like Alice in Wonderland, Tarzan, Nightmare Before Christmas, and you meet all these fancy people, and all of a sudden you find Riku, and you realize, wow, Riku, what the fuck happened? You're kind of a dick, bro. He's like, well, I gotta be stronger, and I got this. I'm with Maleficent now. She's cool. Spoiler warning, she was not cool. She's evil.
I'm with tall, spooky ghost girl.
Yeah, and just a note, like they're traveling to these worlds through something called the Gummy Ship.
Yeah, on the Gummy Ship through the whatever the fuck dimensional portal rifts they have.
They're traveling through darkness. That stuff, like it looks like space, but it's actually just darkness out there.
Chip and Dale have to help you build a ship out of gummies.
Yeah, and the worlds are isolated and protected from all the darkness surrounding them. It's worlds in this are like flat things in Kingdom Hearts. They're not planets necessarily, but they do sort of act like that.
Yeah.
They're like little oases in a sea of darkness.
So many goddamn flat earther jokes, and I'm just gonna not make any of them.
We can leave that.
They're more like
the
lands, like a theme park, if you will. So as you travel through these lands, Sora realizes, oh, there's a bunch of these little these little keyholes that'll let me get further in. He's like, kapow, after he beats the boss, who is, I guess, stopping him from doing that at any given time.
Yeah, like Sora discovers that every world has a keyhole that is the key to the world's heart, because
Yeah.
worlds also have hearts.
And then you lock it off from the darkness, and then they're like, "Oh, we're
Yeah.
safe for now."
It protects
Thanks.
the worlds, but also
Red Queen's still kind of a bitch. But
Yeah.
thanks for poking the
But at least
door
she's not
hole.
unleashing heartless demons or
Right.
something.
Yeah, now we can go back to playing croquet. That's how it goes.
And also at the time, Maleficent during this whole thing is like stealing people. She's
stealing
women.
princesses specifically.
Yeah, she's stealing women along with a cabal of other Disney villains who are like in a circle and like.
Yeah,
the
basically,
Illuminati.
if you've seen the Phantasmic, if you've seen Phantasmic, it's basically that rogues gallery.
Yeah.
That villain cast.
Yeah,
Plus
you
Oogie
got,
Boogie.
Yeah, Oogie Boogie's there too because you got to have the best
Why not?
level in the game.
Yeah, because Nightmare Before Christmas was ridiculously popular in Japan.
Yeah, and
Holy shit.
Honestly, the costumes that everybody's given in that world probably the best.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Honest, they're
lie.
I've been to every Disney store that I went to in Japan just overstuffed with Nightmare Before Christmas stuff.
It's all good. So they travel through, and as he's eventually running into Riku's like, we gotta help Kyrie. He's like, I'm gonna help Kyrie. You're just getting in my way, loser. He's like, but I got a Keyblade. He's like, fucks that.
Yeah,
Aw.
Riku's searching for a cure for Kyrie because
Yeah.
she's comatose and she's missing her heart.
Yeah, she
Her
ain't got no heart.
Is somewhere else. We don't know where. And so Sora, after doing lots of things and having many adventures and leveling up a lot, goes to a place called Hollow Bastion, which is the home of all the Final
This
Fantasy
is where I
characters in
jumped. This is
Kingdom
where I
Hearts.
jumped to.
Yeah, we jumped over to there, but like we gotta set some stuff up.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Hollow Bastion is the home of all the Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts. They all come from Hollow Bastion.
Okay.
So it's the Ivalice of Kingdom Hearts.
Essentially.
if I understood that reference, yes.
Final Fantasy
I
Tactics
assume.
is the world of Final
Tactics.
Fantasy people live.
Oh, okay. Riku ends up taking the Keyblade from Sora because he was actually supposed to be the wielder of the Keyblade the entire time, and Sora was not the chosen one.
But Riku's heart was corrupted by darkness and therefore did not
Yeah,
get
it was like, you know what? I'm going to go with this kid who touched your finger for a second instead.
Yeah, we're just gonna stick with this guy for right now.
Yeah, so Sora got the Keyblade, but when Riku's like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to have that.
Riku does get the Keyblade, like
Yeah.
the actual
Oh yeah,
one,
he does.
and-
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
and swipes it from Sora, and she's like, actually, I'm supposed to have it, so now I'm going
it's
to
mine
take
because
it.
I say, give
Yeah,
it to
Because
me.
I'm the fucking best. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Naruto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so Donald and Goofy, their mission is supposed to be to just hang out with the Keyblade wielder and do stuff with him. So they just fucking leave Sora.
Yeah, they're like, listen, man, our mission was that key.
Well, bye.
See ya.
But Sora gets the Keyblade back when he believes in himself enough, and he never loses it again. He gets it for good after that.
that.
So Riku is pissed off when Sora beats him up, and he runs into a cloaked guy in the hallway. And this cloaked guy is also someone that talked to Sora at the very beginning of the game for some reason.
This weird burlap
And
sack
he's like-
man.
He's mysterious and he sounds like Billy Zane.
The guy who
And,
lives in the cave on the island.
Riku comes back and he's like, fuck you, I'm evil. And I have an evil Keyblade I made from the 6 princesses of hearts. But it's not Riku at all.
Oh.
It's actually a scientist that's been talked about throughout the game, who like a scientist of hearts and darkness, who's named Ansem.
Do not forget the suffix.
Is that this guy?
Yes, this is Ansem.
This is
Ansem,
Ansem.
Seeker of Darkness.
Okay.
And by the way, the Keyblade that Riku has was very special because it's able to unlock your heart.
Yeah.
Okay, it can unlock hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stab it into somebody and it releases their heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't kill Maleficent in this. He's like, I'm gonna make her powerful, and that's when he turns into a dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like she seems to be dead after a while though.
Yeah. Well, Sora
and-
kills her.
Ansem wants to open the door to darkness in order to get something called Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts,
Hearts.
which we have not heard about until just now.
Yeah, you get your title
Except
drop
for the
in
title.
here.
Yeah, but to do that, he needs all 7 princesses of heart, and Kyrie is a princess of heart,
Yeah,
but she don't have her heart.
So where's her
Where
heart
is
Her
at?
heart's missing.
Yo, where your heart at?
So, but it turns out when that little like whooshy thing happened, where they both went through each other, Kyrie's heart was hiding in Sora's heart the entire time.
That's when it took
that's
refuge.
right.
Hearts can hide in other hearts.
Yeah,
There
and
was
the
an
take
awkward-
refuge.
wasn't crowded in there at all.
Yeah, right up in those cockles, and so Sora's like, oh man, we like Kyrie won't wake up if I don't like. If she doesn't have her heart, and also we gotta like close this thing, but we can't close it unless we open it all the way.
Oh yeah, that's right. And
Because
then he like
darkness is seeping through, and yeah, so he shoves Riku's evil Keyblade into his own heart. That Keyblade goes away, and also Sora turns into a heartless, and Kyrie comes back, and then the door to darkness opens.
Pathway of door to darkness opens.
Yeah,
that happens.
It's the portal into
It's
like
that
to get to the
weird
door of
heart-shaped
darkness.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could split hairs and talk about how they opened
It
up.
doesn't matter. All that matters is that it's the way to the door to darkness, which leads to
The
Kingdom
realm
Hearts.
in between.
Something like that.
Darkness.
So yeah, Ansem Riku goes into the portal. Sora is a Heartless for a while, but he gets better after Kyrie hugs him.
Oh, yeah.
Hugs fix everything. And Sora, Donald, Goofy, because Donald, Goofy eventually were like, you know what? Riku's a dick. We're gonna hang out with Sora, even if he doesn't have the Keyblade. So they're back with them. They're cool. So they go to fight Ansem, who again, Brian, if you don't mind. So he looks like that.
Okay.
Riku was himself, but then this
Turns
guy
into that
comes
guy.
out. Yeah. And they go fight Ansem, and Ansem's like, yeah, I gotta get to Kingdom Hearts, and Kingdom Hearts is filled with more darkness. I fucking love darkness. I'm so horny for darkness.
All right, he wants to fuck the darkness.
Yeah, he really likes darkness, but Sora's like, no, I know now.
Kingdom Hearts is light.
He has no reason to believe this. He just decides that's true,
And it was true.
Turns out.
he opens the door to darkness, and like, no, light comes out.
Oh, what happened?
And it kills Ansem for some reason, even though light does not kill Heartless. Which, by the way, Ansem's a Heartless.
Okay, so that Ansem was a Heartless.
He intentionally turned himself into one.
Yeah, and this
And
is
also,
after we fight
throughout
his.
this whole game,
Yeah.
there's been like special Heartless with like emblems on them that like have a logo, like they have good branding. And it turns out that's because a dude made them, and that was Ansem. So there's normal Heartless that look like that.
Yeah,
and
he's
like
just
if
regular
they don't have
dudes.
a little logo on them, they're normal Heartless.
pure organic, no GMO Heartless.
Yeah, like they're naturally occurring Heartless that
Farm-raised
just show up
Heartless.
when people have dark hearts. And Ansem was also making synthetic Heartless.
Aw, man.
That are against nature.
I personally
God.
think that
Non-recyclable.
synthetic Heartless is the future of
Or villainy.
yeah.
Of darkness.
But yeah, so the light inside the door to darkness kills Ansem, but also there's still darkness in there, and also Riku's on the other side, and also
And
so
Mickey's
is Mickey.
and Mickey's over there. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll help you."
He's like, oh, I got
"Come
that
on,
one.
Riku, we got shit to do."
I got another Keyblade from the realm of darkness. It's very similar, but not the same.
But different.
But it's just as special because I'm Mickey.
It chose me because I'm the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Now he went and got that one.
Yeah.
He went looking
Just
for it.
fucking
That
stole
was
it.
why he was gone the whole game. He was going to look for it.
Yeah.
That one
So he's
didn't
just
choose him. He just
sneaking-
found
so
it.
he's
Yeah.
just
His game of
sneaking
Kingdom Hearts 1 is running around with his other Keyblade, beating the shit out of darkness until he found that.
Yeah.
Wait, he had a regular Keyblade.
Yes.
He had
Okay.
he had the weird star-looking one that he uses in Birth by Sleep. a lot.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah, Mickey and Riku are on the other side of the door to darkness. Inside of it, it's like cracked open a bit. But if they leave that door cracked open,
Darkness
a bunch
will
of
keep
darkness will
seeping
come
out.
out. Heartless will come out and destroy all the worlds. So they have to lock Riku into the world of darkness with Mickey. By closing the door on both sides with both Keyblades, and they close the door, and all the worlds start to go back to normal and be not in darkness anymore. And for some reason, Kyrie's there now. She was not
she's
there
just
before.
fine.
She shows up now. There's literally no
And then they just
explanation.
drop her back off at home.
And yeah, she gets sucked back into.
It's because Destiny Islands was
Destiny
coming back,
Islands.
and she's part of the set.
Yeah, but like this is the thing that confuses me. So they explain this as everyone goes back to the worlds they came from. It is established in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1. Kyrie did not come from Destiny Islands. Why is she going back there?
That's true.
I don't know. Because maybe
mystery.
Where your heart considers home.
Home is where the heart is.
Because, like, quickly, like, covering a little bit of a spoiler, Kyrie is actually from Hollow Bastion, which used to be called Radiant Gardens.
Okay, so she's
That's her
a Final Fantasy character.
Yes.
Theoretically, yeah.
Almost
Okay.
canonically, she
According
is.
to the science of Kingdom Hearts, yes.
Yeah, like her and her grandma lived there until it got consumed by darkness apparently,
And
she
then
ended
they
up
and
in
then they
Destiny
moved.
Islands.
See, when they mentioned that, like, oh, she's not from here, she moved here. I thought it was like, oh, she's from Wisconsin or something.
like she it's like she kind of like washed up there.
Yeah.
It's implied that that's where the Heartless first showed up and Ansem destroyed.
Do we
it.
ever hear from Sora's mom ever again?
Nope, she just talks at the beginning of the first Kingdom Hearts games like
Sora, time for dinner.
and then you never hear
He
from the
never
parents
got
again.
that dinner.
Kyrie ends up back in Destiny Islands. For some reason, Sora is exempt from going back to where he came from.
No, he has to go to a computer.
He has the Keyblade. He can go where he wants.
Yeah, and he, Donald, and Goofy are like, you know what? We're gonna go find Riku and Mickey. We're gonna find the door to the light so they can get out. And you know, you would think that this game, Kingdom Hearts, would lead directly into a game named Kingdom Hearts 2. No. You'd be wrong. 'Cause
Yes.
the next game is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
On the Game Boy
2004.
Advance.
Woo!
Woo!
2004 on the Game Boy Advance.
A completely different console by a completely different company.
Before we go into another game, they didn't know they were going to make other games. They left
No.
it completely open just because they were like, we don't know if this is going to do well or not.
And then it did.
And then it did, yeah.
Yeah.
Did very well.
So yeah, leading into, I'm gonna go ahead and cover Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories because
Go right ahead.
It's very short.
It's short, but man, is there a bunch of shit.
There's not a lot that actually matters.
True enough.
we're-
What
we're-
about Larksane?
But enough matters.
It introduces so many concepts that confuse the fuck out of you going vanilla into 2.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let me get into it. Sora, Donald, and Goofy find a place called Castle Oblivion.
Oh shit, we're already on to fucking Chain of. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Chain of Memories is the second game.
It's the second game that came out.
Kingdom
And the
Hearts
second
2,
one
Chain
in
of
the
Memories.
chronology.
Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 2.
All right, I've never played this one at all, and I feel like it's the one I know least about.
Oh.
Well, good. You're about to
Then
get
you,
briefed.
Then you had no fucking idea what was happening in Kingdom Hearts 2.
No! I was so mad!
Sora, Donald, and Goofy come across a place called Castle Oblivion. Here they find some cloaked guys who call themselves Organization 13, and they just start fucking with Sora for no reason. Well, they have a reason, but
Boop.
so all of Sora's memories of Kyrie start getting replaced with memories of a girl named Namine.
This will be important.
Her.
Right down here. That's Namine.
Namine, who the organization is using her to rewrite Sora's memories. She can do that for reasons.
Because she's a witch, according
Yeah,
to
they
the
call
game.
her a witch. But there's actually other reasons. And it also affects the memories of everybody connected to Sora. So if he forgets about Kyrie, everybody who knows Sora also forgets about Kyrie. Except for Kyrie herself, presumably.
Who am I?
We assume.
Whoa! Do I even exist?
Riku doesn't forget. Replica Riku.
Well,
The organization members in the castle are actually members who betrayed the real Organization 13, who we have never met the other members. It's the first time we're knowing who
So we already know there's infighting.
But they're already fighting, and these guys are traitors who are working from inside to like do a coup, basically. And also, meanwhile, Riku is in a different part of the castle and fighting different organization members. Some of the same ones, I think. I don't remember. But he's fighting also organization members, while dealing with still having pieces of Ansem in him that make him be like, oh man, darkness.
Hasn't quite cleared out the evil in him yet.
Yeah. This is also where he meets a guy in red named Diz. Capital D, lowercase I, capital Z.
I don't know what they're referencing.
Yeah, who says some bullshit about light and darkness. And by the way, Diz stands for Darkness in Zero.
You just made that more complicated, not less.
I didn't know that. I love that.
Wait, did you not know that? You didn't know that's what Diz stood for?
Sorry.
Even
No.
Tyler is learning new things.
Now it's not in the chain of memory slot, man.
Yeah, you can show Diz.
There's our guy.
That's because I forgot
This
he was
is
in this game.
Mr. Darkness in Zero.
Yeah. Diz. Stupid
Darkness
name.
in Zero-san.
But yeah, his name is Darkness in Zero. It has no relevance to what he does. Sora actually sees Riku in the castle.
Kuro no Zero-san.
Sora actually sees Riku in Castle Oblivion, except no, he doesn't. It is a clone of Riku, made of data,
Okay.
called a Replicate Riku or Repliku by fans.
Repliku. Gotcha.
This has never been established before. How this even works is never established ever.
I was about to say, I didn't know they were made of data. I just went through the entire thing. I
All
didn't
the
see
clones are
anything.
always made of data. Everything is made of data if it's synthetic.
I'm just waiting for this to be like Mario.
data.
I'm waiting for this to be like Mario, where only one of these things was actually the events that took place, and then everything else is either them dreaming or making up a show.
Yeah, it's a
could
fun
happen.
show.
But yeah, in the end, all the organization members in Castle Oblivion are murdered with the help of a red-haired member of the organization named Axel.
How do you spell that?
Axel.
Got
All
it
right.
memorized?
Good.
Yeah, that guy Axel. He's important.
Commit it to memory.
I thought he. By the way,
That's right. That's what that was.
I want to say that when I was a kid, I thought he was the hottest fucking dude.
He's fucking cool.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's like designed to be cool
My
guy.
favorite voice performance of the show
He
of the
ga-
series.
As somebody that was watching Bleach, I think at the time that Kingdom Hearts 2 was kind of still around, he reminded me a lot of like Renji. So
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
really
He's
cared.
actually modeled directly off of Reno from Final Fantasy VII.
that doesn't shock me.
Yeah.
When I watched the Final Fantasy movie, I was like, who the fuck's this Axel ripoff?
You know what? That sounds right. Actually, that sounds right.
Anyway, so we got Axel there, and Axel helps defeat all the members of the organization because he's part of the real organization. And Namine, she's like, oh man, I'm real sorry for that. I'm sorry messing with your head. I'll fix it. But it'll take a year. And also, you're going to forget about everything that happened in this game.
So it's not going to matter to you.
For me to fix your brain, you have to unlearn everything I taught you.
So you'll put him in the exact same position as the audience getting into Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yep.
Riku, in the meantime, decides to use his darkness without letting it control him and meets up with Mickey, and they decide to work with Diz, and they put on those the black coat that Axel has in that picture. Bringing it back up again.
1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, you just leave it up.
there you go.
Yeah.
Those organization cloaks.
Yeah, and then, we can have him go away now.
Oh, put him away! What's he doing here? Fucking get rid of him!
Yeah, that black coat is actually, it protects you from darkness, and that's the reason people wear it. It's not the uniform
plus
of the
one to darkness resistance.
Yeah, every member of Organization 13 has that coat, but it is not the uniform of Organization 13. It's
They
just
have
a
no
coat you
standardized
wear.
uniform.
Yeah.
It's just something that, like, you know, you buy
protects
it.
you.
You buy it, Mr. Scrooge's.
It's like a snowsuit,
Equip
but
slot.
for darkness.
All right, look. First
Huey,
of all,
Dewey, and Louie sell these darkness-resistant cloaks for a reason. Damn it!
look. I'm gonna sell you one of these cloaks, but let me tell you, you're gonna want one of the brand ones. You don't want to get one of the wholesale ones. Trust me about
It
this.
is blowing Brian the Tech Man's mind.
You do not want to fight Sephiroth if you're not resisting darkness. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but yeah, those coats aren't a uniform. They are like darkness protection.
Yeah.
So
I just imagine Larxene walking in and seeing Marluxia wearing his cloak, just like, wore the same thing again.
before we go into Kingdom Hearts 2, I think we'll just stop and do this every once in a while. Does anyone have any questions about what's happened so far?
Specifically what we've already
Or
covered.
anything to add?
It is everything that I'm still caught up. Luckily, we did just do that retrospective.
Yeah.
This is all parsing. It's just.
Yeah, as somebody who's watched two like storyful summary things, I'm with you on here.
Okay.
So far, I am
we're
with
there.
you. In fact, by and large, this is way easier to follow than if you did start chronologically.
Yeah,
Funny
that's
enough.
the thing. It's worse to start chronologically.
Yeah.
But I guess Brian over there in Tech Desk, being the biggest newbie of all.
I mean, he doesn't have a microphone, so that kind of makes this difficult.
That's fine. I can yell.
Okay. Yeah. Do you understand everything?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
says
far, so
yes.
good.
Sure. We're all
Give me a second, but yes.
okay. So we're gonna get into Kingdom Hearts 2, released in 2005 on the PS2.
Get ready for the real wild ride to start.
Yep.
Because this is when someone told Nomura, you've got a budget and more games.
And again,
Grant, is this one that you would call yourself a fan of?
Oh, yeah. I really liked Kingdom Hearts
do you
2.
want to
want
attempt?
to cover this one?
Okay.
I will stop you if we need to cover something.
All right. So
in there.
starting from the start of Kingdom Hearts
the
2.
very beginning.
Okay.
A very good place to start.
Well, I know the very, 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 very first thing we see is Sora talking to the sky, but then we cut through the opening movie and whatnot, and we wake up with Roxas, who is living in Twilight Town. Seems to have some friends, wasting his summer vacation, chilling with his buddies.
Dog Street.
Yeah.
Voiced by Jesse McCartney.
Yeah, sounds like the prettiest boy in town. Loves to struggle, according to the tournament they go to.
There's a tournament called The Struggle where you beat
bop,
someone
you
up
bop
and
balloons
you get both.
save for more Final Fantasy 8 people are there.
And then he wakes up and realizes he can't say the word. Was it photograph?
Yeah, I can't say photo.
Picture or photo. Yeah.
Yeah. He wakes up and is incapable of saying the word photo, and so are
the
all of
word
his
just
friends.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And everybody else in town can't say the word photo.
Yeah. So they go, "Hey, have you seen our missing?"
Yeah, because
And
all the
no
photos
one
were
see-
also stolen.
Yeah. So it was not only pictures were stolen, but the very concept and word of photography and photos and pictures have been stolen.
I forgot this part.
Yeah, me too.
This is the very beginning. This
Okay.
is the first thing they ask you about.
You
Is-
thought it was a very good place to
Where
start.
did all of those dash go? And you don't
Yeah.
know what that is.
And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So this.
Wow, I can't say either.
Exactly. I think that's a line.
Yeah, you just reminded me.
So they go on an excursion through Twilight Town looking for these missing photos, both in concept and physical world. And they find this weird mansion that everyone says is haunted. And outside, they fight these weird, noodly, gray cloaked guys.
Well, only Roxas. Roxas is the only person who ever sees these
Roxas
things.
encounters those.
Like these silver, not heartless looking things, but they're like kind of like
They're new and like, what are these?
But he can't hit them with any normal weapon.
Which,
They
normal
move too
children
fast.
run around with.
What?
They move too fast.
Yeah, exactly. They just keep
They're
slipping
noodling.
around and sliding and going around. And my memory is a little hazy here, but at some point he gets a Keyblade and is able to slap him around.
It just pops up in his
I
hand.
believe Axel shows up around this point too to start taunting him or some shit.
Not quite yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But yeah,
A couple days go by.
Ro-
He's got a few more summer projects.
some stuff that doesn't actually matter.
He's
like,
got a
sort of
he's got a
happens with his
skateboard and
friends.
deliver
Yeah.
parcels and shit
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Weird stuff happens for a week.
Yeah, glitches. it
Like
seems.
Roxas is able to use the Kingdom Key, Sora's Keyblade.
You've got a lot of clock towers to climb in order to eat some sea salt ice cream.
Yes, kids do very dangerous things on top of a clock tower while eating ice cream. Sea salt ice cream, which I've never
Specifically.
tried. I kind of want to.
It's not good.
It's not good?
Nope.
Eventually, he gets the photos back, finds out that these weird, creepy cloak noodly men were the ones who took the pictures and the idea of pictures. And so he goes to investigate the mansion that he found them in. And while he's in there, does he encounter Nominee?
Yeah, he does run into Nominee, and also he's begun having visions of Sora's life, he's just experiencing.
he's having
it.
the
Flashes
memories.
keep
Yeah.
appearing in my head. It feels
Yeah.
like I'm dreaming during the day.
Yeah, and Axel shows up and he's like, "Hey, Roxas, join me."
Remember me, buddy? And
Come on,
Roxas has
buddy.
zero memories of Axel, who seems to really feel like there was a relationship between them at some point.
Yeah.
Axel feels pretty betrayed.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm
what's
gonna
our
fight you, you piece of shit.
what's our boss's name? Roxas cannot answer. Like, who am I? Roxas doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Ow, my
And he's mad about
non-existing heart.
He's really mad about it. He's like, "How dare you not remember me, bitch?"
And he starts
So-
trying to murder him.
But yeah, Roxas does meet a girl named Nominee. Do you want to go from there?
Nominee more or less fills Roxas in like, hey, so at some point this guy Sora became a Heartless and you're sort of what's left. And
like
we kind of need you to let Sora be whole again.
Yeah, she doesn't go into all the specifics, but she does cover that her and him are called nobodies, half people that shouldn't exist. And Organization 13, who he's heard about here and there while he's been having weird stuff happen to him, are also nobodies, and that they want to find Kingdom Hearts to be less incomplete. And then Diz shows up and is like, "Shut the fuck up," and takes her away.
Yes.
And
Basically,
a
he's
real
like, you're
dick.
telling him too much.
Yeah,
Stop talking. He needs to recover.
Yeah, and he's like, "Fuck you! You don't matter. You're not even a person." And he leaves.
Yeah.
You have to give
He's a real
yourself up
asshole.
for Sora to wake up. Why did we tell you anything if you're just going to disappear?
And who is this again?
Diz.
This is Diz?
Yeah,
Show
this
us.
is Diz. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
pop Diz
Brian.
back in here.
Yeah, let's bring Diz back.
Darkness in Zero.
Yeah,
This guy who Riku and Mickey decided they would work with in Chain of Memories.
By the way, the word you're looking for is a Yami, not Kudo. Kudo is black, Yami is dark.
Yami no, Yami no Zero, san.
Anyway, Roxas makes his way into the basement of this mansion where he finds Sora in a pod and is like, well, guess my summer vacation's over, essentially.
So before that, he has flashbacks where we see Riku with a bandage over his eyes, and they fought at some point. Then Roxas was taken to Diz, who put Roxas in a digital world. Into a digital world,
Digital
style.
Digital
and
monsters.
not in a Matrix way, but in a
Literal shoved him into it.
like Freakazoid went into the
like
internet
the Tron
way.
way.
Tron way. That's
It's
more
the most
appropriate.
relevant way.
Theming.
That's the closest we get to an explanation. Is that
Yeah.
Tron also exists?
Yep.
But yeah, so Roxas gets put in a digital world to keep him contained until Sora wakes up from his memory being fixed.
God, I hadn't even thought about the Tron tie-in. Was that why they did all this?
Yes.
It should have been.
Yes.
Shit.
Yes,
That's
actually.
probably why there's all this data
Yeah.
malarkey. God damn it, Tron.
And Roxas has half of Sora's power, and he has to give it back. And it's also made clear through the flashbacks that Roxas used to be a member of Organization 13, even though he doesn't remember that. Well, until then. And also, he is able to use 2 Keyblades all of a sudden. And Axel's like, what?
Yeah, Axel seems pretty
Dual
surprised.
wield. Basically, it's established that Roxas has to stop existing in order for our buddy Sora to come back.
And Rox is just like, all right.
Well, no, he's pissed.
Yeah.
He's fucking angry. He's like, no, bitch, I don't wanna. I don't
like,
wanna
I'm
go
me. I get to
not
do my own
exist. And but then Diz tricks him into opening the little capsule with Sora in it, and it opens, and Rox's like, oh well, Fuck.
Guess I'm here. Now I see it. Now I feel like I got to do something.
And Sora
So-
like super outgrew his clothes.
Yeah, and like Sora's back, and he's 1 year older. He's had a huge growth spurt. He's wearing short shorts now, even though it's the same clothes.
All right, Grant. So Sora's awake.
Yeah.
What happens now?
All right. Sora, being back awake, sees an entry in his journal that just says "Thank Nominee." He has no idea what that means or who it's talking about. And also, he's apparently level 1 again. But don't worry about that. He walks out of the chamber. He is in Twilight Town. Kind of rambles about for a little bit. Finds a train which can take him to.
Which we should establish. This is the real Twilight Town, not the digital one that Roxas was hanging out.
Yeah. He stepped out of this pod that was basically simulating his
Existence.
fake life for a bit in order to repair his brain memories.
But there's also a real Twilight Town.
Yes. All of the Roxas stuff you saw before was taking place in digital Twilight Town.
Real Roxas was inside the digital town.
Yeah. And Sora wakes up in the real town, not the copy that we've been playing in so far. So no one remembers Roxas because he wasn't there.
Right.
Now, Goofy and Donald, were they also in pods next to him, if I recall correctly?
Yes, they were also hanging out there. Their memories may have needed to be fixed as well, I guess. Or they were just
you're
like...
useless right now, too, so go
or they were just
away.
like, you know,
Look, if
we'll
we
just-
let
we'll
you
just-
go around
yeah.
without Sora, it really wouldn't make much sense. So sleepy time.
just need the year vacation. Oh, no, I missed my son Max's birthday.
Yeah. Daisy has 0 questions for you when you show up a
What
year
do you
later.
mean
Donald.
my wife died?
So Sora and Donald and Goofy eventually leave Twilight Town, meet up with Yen Sid, Mickey's old master, where Sora is blessed with new clothes and a kick-ass new lease on life, where he's told about, so we've got new problems. Not only are those heartless things still running around that you kind of dealt with before, we've also got these new guys in Organization 13 who are assembling nobodies, which are like the refuse when a heartless is made. So now we've got both sides of this coin fucking with us, and it's just bad news in every direction. We kind of need you to stop both of them.
Yeah.
Should we address Camp 3 in this situation? Because I do believe that's also where you meet Pete the first time.
Pete
Yeah.
does show up
Oh,
there.
yeah, it was yeah.
Though before that, I just want to establish that there's a mysterious cloaked guy who's been working with Diz, and he's sent to kill Nominee and Axel, but he decides to let them go because he says he owes them. And
Mystery.
yeah, so yeah, like Donald and Sora and Goofy go to Yen Sid, and yeah, Pete's there, and he's like,
Well, I work with Maleficent. And I'm gonna stop you, cause the lady really
To which Sora giggles and goes, "She's toast."
I fucking killed her.
She's dead.
That's literally what he does.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to keep waiting, buddy, because she's not coming back.
And
saw
Pete's
it
like,
at that.
Oh no!
And he goes back to go check on her.
I'm Jim Cummings.
Fortunately, though, for Maleficent, she seems to have the power that when one of those fairy godmother ladies basically remembers her, she suddenly comes back. Because the thought of Maleficent, much like photographs, is enough to make them exist.
It's like Freddy, it's like they watched fucking Freddy versus Jason and got the whole Freddy Krueger thing from it.
But yeah, the only reason Maleficent and Pete are in this game, they're not important. They're just there so that you have a reason to always be fighting
Oh,
Heartless.
they're
as
Team
well.
Rocket.
Yes.
They're Team Rocket in
Yeah,
this game, and I kind of love it.
They're Camp 3. They're Camp Heartless. There's Camp
Yeah,
Nobody and Camp Heartless.
They're an excuse for you to be fighting Heartless the entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they keep bringing Heartless to these worlds where you're like, I'm trying to deal with the nobodies right now.
And it lets you have like fun, like not big plot
Lower
things, but, like,
stakes.
yeah, lower stakes. Like what's Pete doing in Lion King, looking like a doofy idiot?
Oh, now I gotta go fight him in the River of Time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he does have the worst looking.
I love it.
Oh my
though.
god,
It's
yeah,
great.
no, it's fantastic.
Yeah, Pete, like when you go into different worlds in Kingdom Hearts, depending on what world it is, Sora will sometimes change to match how that world wants you to look. And Pete,
Otherwise, you wouldn't fit in.
Pete turns into a really goofy looking lion that has most of his face,
Yep.
but has a lion's body.
He looks like a sphinx.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of.
It's very
looks like
unnerving.
a big stupid sphinx.
Which is weird because Pete's a fucking cat.
Which Kyrie,
we should stop and
Sure.
just fully establish what nobodies are, because this is when they do that.
Okay.
Nobodies are what happens when people's bodies when their hearts turn into heartless. But not all people. Only people with a strong will, and people with particularly even more strong wills get to keep their human bodies.
So they can split into 3.
so
they
nobody.
split into 2 things at the moment. Like
Okay.
when they turn into a heartless, their body,
I
their
get what
hearts
you're
leave their
saying.
body, become a heartless. The body goes away and
Becomes a
either
nobody.
becomes a nobody or just fucking disappears.
Yeah. people with strong wills get weird noodly nobodies or whatever weird looking nobodies.
And people with
super
Get
super
to keep
strong
their
wills
bodies and get
just
cool
look
guns
like them,
and stuff.
look like
And for
humans.
some reason, a lot of those people are
you gotta
teenagers.
keep their memories. Is like
Well,
the big
yeah, because when
distinction.
you're a teenager, you have a lot of will, but the older you get, it's like, fuck it.
You give up, yeah.
Sweet embrace of non-death. Please take me.
So yeah, that's what Roxas nominate and all of Organization 13 are, including Axel. So yeah, the guys go to Hollow Bastion next.
Yeah, they go to Hollow Bastion where the Final Fantasy characters are still holed up with a new security system and trying to get things working out together. I'm trying to just jump over all the different Disney worlds and
Yeah.
only hit on actual plot points.
Yeah, like
And this time they're kind of like delivered kind of like in random worlds
Yeah,
too.
it's
yeah, like I have it out here. If
Yeah.
you want me to just go through?
You know
that.
what? I'll just basically say eventually Kyrie is kidnapped by Axel.
That happens. Yeah.
The organization and Sora keep running into each other to varying degrees of success for either party.
Yeah, and they keep talking about how they don't feel any emotions despite constantly showing that they feel emotions.
Yeah, despite frequently displaying evidence contrary to them being
Yes.
emotionless husks, they keep saying, we want our emotions back, so that's what Kingdom Hearts is sort of all about. We want to feel again, and it makes me so mad that you keep stopping me.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Kyrie gets kidnapped. That's the only big thing that happens during all the Disney adventures. This game,
big thing that happens in this game is
well, like during a lot of the front-loaded Disney stuff, because this game does not balance the plot in the Disney worlds very well.
it does not distribute its plot evenly.
You got to make time for Jack Sparrow.
You really do.
Yeah, and but they eventually go back to Hollow Bastion, and Mickey is there.
Yes.
Do you want to cover all that?
And he is talking about how he's found a way into the door to darkness, the DTD.
DTD.
And it's underneath this big picture of Ansem the Wise's assistant Xehanort.
Yes, because we gotta really
Okay,
really hit on
reel
this.
it back because we're introducing something important now.
Because now is when things
So-
start really popping off.
So the first guy, Brian, if you don't mind pulling up Ansem, Seeker of Darkness again.
All right, hold on. I gotta scroll.
Ansem, Seeker of Darkness.
Yeah, no problem.
Major
coming up
antagonist
here.
from Kingdom Hearts 1.
He was
So-
very important. This guy.
This guy is Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. You might think that he is named Ansem.
You would be incorrect.
He stole the name from his original
Master or
he was an apprentice of a man named Ansem the Wise, who is this guy.
Oh.
Voiced by Christopher Lee.
Yes.
And
The Great.
yes, the late and great. This guy is actually named Ansem. He's also Diz. He's in the outfit, so may as well
Surprise!
address that.
One thing that they never really go into is he was the king, the ruler of the world that Kyrie
Yes.
originally came from.
Yeah, Hollow Bastion, when it was called Radiant Gardens, before it was taken over by Darkness,
Yeah.
he was the guy in charge.
Yeah.
And he was renowned. He was the biggest scientist ever, and somehow Xehanort replaced him, and no one noticed.
Yeah, it's because Ansem just decided to start wrapping his fucking face in bandages, and people are like, "What's with that?"
Wait, do we find out what Ansem's original, like Ansem the Darkness's real name was?
Is Xehanort.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
right.
The Heartless is actually just named Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. The original apprentice is named Xehanort.
Yes.
And the new villain of this game is
Zemnis.
Xehanort's nobody named Zemnis.
Fuck me. That's
which
right.
is Ansem mixed around with an X in it. Still going by Ansem, basically.
Because it's way easier to slip an X into
let's show
Ansem.
Zemnis now. That's Zemnis, the villain of this game. So,
he's Xehanort's nobody?
Yes.
yes,
So this is the nobody.
for now.
Yes, that is the nobody.
You might have
For now,
noticed
he
that.
is Xehanort's nobody.
You might have noticed that when someone becomes a heart or nobody, they get an X.
In their name.
Yeah.
Roxas is Sora's name mixed up with an X.
Nominee skipped that whole X and has nothing to do with Kyrie.
Nominee-
'Cause I don't think they knew.
Wait. Then what the fuck was? Oh, Ansem.
Ansem.
Gotcha.
We find out
Zemnis.
that nominee is a very special kind of
We'll cover that in a bit. We don't want to. We don't want to
like
jump
they-
ahead.
We don't want to
We're done
confuse
with
the
her, though.
people.
No. We got to
There's
cover
more.
this in order. We will get so lost if we don't.
I'm already lost because
Yeah.
there's already a big blazing question from the other games in my head, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. So,
Yeah, we'll
the
stop
headline
between
protect me,
games,
Tyler,
I think.
The
protect
headline
me.
is the villain of the last game. We thought his name was Ansem. His name was actually Xehanort, and his master was named Ansem. He stole his name. And the villain of this game is the nobody of the original guy named Xehanort, who turned himself into a Heartless to make the villain of the last game. That's
Okay.
I'm trying very hard to make this make sense.
And Sora explains all of this to you when you
Mickey explains this, yeah.
Mickey explains this to Sora when Xemnas appears, summoning a horde of darkness at Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, and also
And then
Sora
you
asks
Twilight-
Mickey about Riku, and Mickey's like, I can't tell you.
Don't worry about it.
Promise.
It's just a problem now. Don't worry about it.
It's a secret.
You'll need them in probably another game or two.
Anyway, I'll stop trying to explain this game since you actually have a timeline to to go with. And
Maybe the simpler
there's a lot
ones.
to cover.
We're already an hour
There's-
in, and we're only
Yeah,
three
we have
games.
like
we may just need me to just blaze through this
Fine.
stuff for
Yeah,
us.
let's go.
and then we'll have a discussion.
Yeah, and we can Hollow Bastion happens. Goofy fucking dies.
I mean, not really, but maybe.
Not really.
Kind of, but it makes Donald sad for a little bit.
And Mickey goes ape shit.
Mickey goes, they're going to pay.
Yeah.
Sora
amazing.
fights like a million Heartless by himself. Goofy's actually
he goes
fine, though.
Dynasty Warriors.
Goofy just got bonked in the head. He's like, I've been hit in the head a lot. Why do you think I act this
Yeah,
way?
thank goodness it hit my head, otherwise it might have hurt something important.
By the way, I absolutely love the battle where you fight 100 Heartless.
It's really cool.
1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And Sora learns that killing all these Heartless that he's been killing this entire time is actually Organization 13's plan. That's how they're going to make Kingdom Hearts. They're collecting all these hearts that he's freeing from these Heartless.
That heart came from the moon.
and turning them into a big moon in the sky called Kingdom Hearts, the logo of all the games.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. So if like Sora has to kill the Heartless to protect people from Heartless, but also it's working towards the evil plan.
Giving Sora the dilemma: do I stop the evil that makes a bigger evil later, or do I just let these people suffer?
And
he
basically
always
he decides
chooses to stop.
Fuck
the
it, I'll
evil.
just keep doing what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Seems to work usually. And also,
Sora, you must choose between defeating these Heartless or opening. Why are you still going? Oh, all right, cool.
Made his
No,
choice.
fine with me. Go ahead.
the thing is, Organization 13 wants him to kill Heartless.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, yeah, do it as much as we want. We love that.
So what you're saying is nobody wants Sora to kill Heartless?
Yes.
Yes. and he also learns that Organization 13 has Kyrie. Axel feels real bad about that. He's like, oh shit, I feel real shitty.
This was a low blow
It's
even
kind of
for
my
me.
fault.
Yeah, he's like, I shouldn't have done that. It might be. And what was I thinking? Maleficent protects Sora for a moment, and it doesn't matter. So they go and do more Disney World stuff.
They redo.
We're gonna go ride the haunted mansion.
But it works out. Like it's new stuff, it's new stories.
Check in
and all.
Tarzan, Mulan,
again.
Tron.
We do not go to Tarzan again, too.
Tarzan. We never go back to Tarzan because the rights reverted back to Edgar Rice Burroughs' estate.
Yep.
And
We
that
do
would cost
go-
more money.
Yeah,
Oh, Tarzan was one?
yeah. Tarzan was one. It was one of the
okay.
first worlds you go to.
It's also fucking awful.
It's the worst.
Oh, I remember it, yeah.
But the Lion King world is in too.
Yes, the Lion King World's in 2. That's what
And
they
you get to
replaced it
sing this way. We'll dance and we'll play. Just come on, everybody, gonna have a bunch of finny fun.
The Little Mermaid is a optional level in Kingdom Hearts 2.
it's a
Optional. They never tell you it's optional, but it's very optional. Do not do it ever.
Do never do it. If there is a Little Mermaid level in 3, I will skip it. I don't care.
She's
if
a
it's-
summon. We're safe.
No, thank Christ.
I'm just always looking forward to a little bit more Fenny fun. But if you guys want to be babies,
come on,
Eventually they get to the point where Sora, Donald, and Goofy go to the world that never was.
yeah.
Just kind of the opposite of Epcot, I guess.
I guess. And in order to help them get there, Axel sacrifices his life and dies because he's so gay for Roxas. He's so fucking gay
He's
for
so
Roxas.
gay for Roxas that he'll kill himself for his soul.
He literally
or
says,
heart
like, he made me feel like I had a heart.
on for him.
It's pretty sad, actually.
No,
Like,
it
that's the thing about these games. This story is fucking stupid.
They pull
but
the heartstrings when they
but
need
they
to.
somehow manage to make you care anyway.
And the music helps a lot.
yes, the music
Yoko
is
Shimomura.
amazing.
Yep.
Ace work.
Some of my favorite music ever.
Yeah, I agree.
I love her orchestral renditions of the main themes always.
Yoko Shimomura is a honestly Nobuo
You know that Guile theme that
Uematsu
goes with
and-
anything? She did it.
Yes. Nobuo Uematsu and Shimomura are really on the same stage.
So yeah.
Yeah, let's continue forward with.
So, yeah, some fighting happens. Sora kills most of the organization members left, which, by the way, if you just went into Kingdom Hearts 2 without playing Chain of Memories, you'll notice that there aren't 13 members of Organization 13.
That's weird. There's only like 8 members of
Because you killed
Organization
them
13.
in Chain of Memories and don't remember.
So angry! What do you mean part of them are dead and I killed them? What?
But where does like 2.5 remix come in where you can fight the ones that you beat
Yeah,
already?
that's good at least. That's fun.
Okay.
You find their graves.
Yes.
You find their graves.
It just lets you know that they're a lived-in organization.
I
Not a
legit-
died in.
Sora kills so many people.
Sora murders.
Sorry,
people.
not people. Nobodies.
Yeah.
Sora kills a lot of nobodies.
They don't matter.
Most of my responses to these games have been like, yeah, I remember that. No, that made me mad. I looked that up and I got mad because I was thinking to myself, wow, this story's been so interesting. When am I going to meet these guys? What story background am I going to get on these guys? No!
I didn't get mad. I don't even think I registered it when I was playing as a kid. I was like,
You were just like, Organization 13 is a cool name, and it's 8 members.
As a kid,
yeah,
I
it was
barely
like-
registered the story at all.
It was mostly
Sorry, I thought that's how they were gonna do all the secret bosses. Like, oh, I gotta find the other ones after I beat the game. Okay.
something like that. Like my whole thing was like, oh, some of their members died. That's interesting.
That's because all of you think linearly and like sane people. Tetsuya Nomura doesn't give a shit. He will do whatever he wants.
He wasn't planning a series.
So yeah, Sora kills most of the organization members that are left that aren't Xemnas. Kyrie gets broken out of jail by Naminé, and Kyrie eventually meets back up with Sora. And Riku shows up looking like a fake heartless Ansem from the first game in a cloak, because he used the darkness power and it made him look like Ansem again. So he was the cloaked guy who was working with Diz this entire time, and the one who decided not to kill Anime because he owed her from Chain of Memories.
Don't kill anime. It's the only reason Kingdom Hearts exists.
And and apparently that blindfold he had in the flashbacks, he had it because his eyes couldn't lie to him. And it kept him from turning into Ansem. And when he took it off, he accesses the full power of darkness and makes him more powerful, but it also makes him like, oh no,
now
he's
I look
more
like
evil.
an old man.
And sad, he's
older-ish
lonely.
Yeah, he looks like a 20-year-old guy rather than a
Kid.
18-year-old guy.
Hopefully, I won't be ID'd now when I buy beer.
So yeah, Riku, Kyrie, and Sora are all together again, finally, and they're all on the same side. But it's
a very
Riku
touching
does
moment.
not look like himself.
But we do get that awesome Naruto Sasuke working together moment.
Yeah, and it's also very gay when Sora grabs Riku's hand. It's like, Riku's here, and he gets on his knees, and he's like, oh.
I missed you so much.
Somewhat homoerotic, but also very touching in that Riku has been hiding himself this whole time because he looks like Ansem, and he doesn't want his friends to see him like
Yeah.
this. Sora sees him, doesn't even bother mentioning it. He's just like, I am so glad
I'm so
my
happy
friend's
my
back.
friend's back.
And
yeah, it's
a
very gay,
touching
but that does
thing.
not mean it's not beautiful. In fact, it might enhance it depending on who you are. Depending on how gay you want things to be.
Right before he goes, oh, that's Riku? He's like, yeah, fuck you, but I guess you're okay for helping us.
Yeah,
So
because
he does
thinks
lay
he's
into
Ansem at
him a
first.
little bit before he
Yeah.
finds out it's Riku.
He's like, I can't be mad because you brought Kyrie back to me.
Yeah.
But then he's like, oh no, it's Riku. So they run into Diz. He has a big laser.
Diz has a giant
He's
laser
a giant
cannon.
laser that's
it's
shooting
like
at the moon.
It has hearts in it.
He's shooting at the Kingdom Hearts moon, and he's like, "Oh, I made this so that I'm going to stop Kingdom Hearts."
I'm gonna shoot it with my gun.
And you know, Diz again reveals at this point that he is Ansem the Wise, the original Ansem. And yeah, he's shooting at the big Kingdom Hearts moon at the sky, but the laser gun's gonna explode. He's like, "Oh, I was wrong. You can't calculate hearts. Hearts are more powerful than that. Hearts.
There is no formula for hearts.
Here's one thing that I was confused during this when I was playing through it both times, actually. I always thought that laser was part of his little digital thing where he was going to capture Kingdom Hearts,
No,
not destroy it.
he's just trying to like do something to it.
Okay.
I think it's unclear what he's trying to do.
Okay.
But he wants to stop it. But yeah, but like, the laser gun's gonna explode. Everybody get back. Mickey's there, by the way. He showed up.
And Mickey's there.
Mickey Mouse shows up, and
Mickey Mouse shows up.
If the
You're gonna
laser
say
gun
Ansem.
explodes,
Ansem
anything
the
could
Wise.
happen. Anything could happen if this laser gun explodes, and so it does.
And anything does happen.
And Ansem disappears, and anything meant that Riku turns back to normal.
He gets hearts back, and the
He turns
radiation
back to normal.
just fixes him.
That's the only explanation. Laser explode. Riku normal now.
Riku's a teenager again.
He hasn't stopped using darkness for power. He's just normal now.
Yeah, he's back. He's
It
back
might
to
have
regular.
purified him a bit of Ansem's stuff. I don't know, but
He can stop being creepy old weird man.
And Ansem has vanished.
Ansem just disappears.
He is gone.
Presumably dead.
Yeah.
But
And we'll never see him again.
everybody who, even if you watch them die, don't expect them to be dead.
Yeah, there's
All they need to do is think about them and they'll be back.
So everybody confronts Xemnas, and they beat him up. And then it's revealed that Naminé is actually Kyrie's nobody. But here's the thing. Kyrie is a princess of heart. And she's a princess of heart because she has no darkness in her heart. She's literally best girl canonically. One of 7 best girls.
Yeah, mathematically proven to be best girl.
Right.
Kyrie.
So Naminé is like the
Are you
best-
telling me that little shit Alice has no darkness in her heart?
Yes.
Yes.
Bullshit!
She has lots of curiosity.
I agree with you, actually.
Notice how Ariel is not a princess of heart, meaning she has
She's
darkness
too horny.
somewhere.
She goes chasing boys. She goes chasing boys on the surface. She leaves her entire being she leaves her entire world to do chasing.
If your nether regions quiver for a man, you are not.
The nether
Pure
region
heart.
she didn't even have.
Meanwhile,
She wanted dick so bad she got a vagina.
Bell's over here.
7 vaginas!
Meanwhile, Belle's over here fucking an animal, and she gets it.
I like to think that Ariel is a princess of light, but they just didn't want to try to get her because she feels weird.
She's just like,
She'll
what are we
suffocate
doing?
on land.
She's flopping.
So anyway, So Naminé is Kyrie's nobody, but she shouldn't have a nobody because she never became a Heartless. But you know who did? Sora. So Sora made 2 nobodies because he released his own heart and Kyrie's heart.
Ah, okay.
Out into the ether when he turned into a Heartless. So Naminé is like a little bit part Sora, a little bit part Kyrie.
Okay.
So that's what their daughter would look like if she was blonde.
Basically. But why is she blonde? Neither of them are blonde.
They're heartless without
We'll
pigment.
see.
there might be a reason for it.
Okay.
Found out
That
there
was
were-
not figured out at this point in time.
There were more tenants
Did
in that apartment than
Ansem
we
get
thought.
in that? I don't.
So,
We'll get there.
Okay.
but
We still have many
Naminé's
games
existence
to
still
cover.
doesn't make sense because it's explicitly stated that nobodies are the bodies left behind, which means Roxas also does not make sense. But like internally in Kingdom Hearts 2, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because
but we'll-
Until
Roxas
we
should
get
just look
somewhere
exactly
else.
like Sora. If,
So we'll just say they're bullshitting about the body part. It's just it makes another being.
yeah.
That's what I always thought.
That canonically is not the case, but
Don't worry.
Fuck it.
You'll learn.
But it works for now.
We're going to learn today.
They break their own rules constantly. So
It's not an exact science, this whole science thing.
Read
So-
the notes, letters, and reports.
So the big plan of Organization 13 was to give nobodies hearts because they apparently don't have them and can't feel emotion, even though they obviously really want hearts in a very emotional manner. And Axel was clearly in love with Roxas, and Roxas gets angry constantly when he's alive. And Naminé feels so many things,
She's
timidly,
constantly
but
scared.
she feels them.
Poor unfeeling bastards.
And like, we'll jump ahead to the future for a little bit, just to say that later it's revealed that nobodies actually can grow their own hearts, which explains their emotions, and it's explained that Xemnas was lying to them. But
Yeah.
this isn't revealed until Dream Drop Distance on the
is like-
3DS.
which is
7 years
5
later.
games
Coming later, that wasn't until like 2013.
7 years later, they explained that part.
Okay.
Because I think Normoto was like, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
People are really
So
looking
at this
into
point in
the
time,
game.
that was not canon.
What is this Wikipedia thing, is what he said. They're keeping track? Oh, no.
It's in the song. It's simple and clean. Why are you having a hard time with this?
So yeah, at this point in time, it was canon that even though they felt emotions, they had no emotions, and they really wanted hearts because
That was just the
gives them
illusion of emotions.
So yeah, that was like the excuse they gave.
Yeah,
but
I think Xemnas
Ansem
says something
apologizes to
along the lines.
Roxas when he dies because he's like, oh man, I was real mean, but I feel like you actually are a person and not just faking emotions. So I'm sorry if you can hear me, Roxas, inside Sora. Also, I'll just go back real quick. Sora, during all this stuff, ends up fighting Roxas inside his own head. Roxas is like, "Fuck you!
I wanna be in charge.
I want to be real still." And then Sora beats him up, and he's like, "All right,
No.
You've earned your
I'll
right.
stop
You are
existing
real.
now."
You're real with me.
Yeah.
You're me now. Get in here.
So So Sora and Riku, they beat up Xemnas some more, and then they end up on a beach in the realm of darkness, and then somehow they magic their way out of it by thinking hard.
Like you do.
And they get back to Destiny Islands. It's a big happy ending. There's an epilogue.
Have we already gone past the part where they fight big old battleship Xehanort in the city with the fuck off?
Yeah, I moved past that to try and just get to the core.
Xehanort makes
plot.
a lot of JRPG final boss chicanery where he becomes giant and a ship.
Yeah.
And then you
I'm
have to
surprised
fight the
boss
city.
fight.
Real quick.
Yeah, right. I remember. I was like, that was
The
it.
easiest
Shit.
boss fight in the game.
Real quick.
It's nothing but time events.
They imply that he is in Kingdom Hearts they're at a place. He's at a place close to Kingdom Hearts, and the door that shows up that they go through to fight is a door that the worlds give them, but it has a fucking nobody symbol on it. So is it the nobody of all the worlds that fell?
Moving
Maybe.
on.
I just have questions.
Add that to the number of things that Kingdom Hearts is.
I just want yes and.
We
Okay.
get the happy ending. There's an epilogue where Mickey sends him a letter implying that there's going to be a new big adventure, and then there's a secret ending that shows armored people in a Keyblade graveyard, referencing a Keyblade War, and like there's like millions of Keyblades on a field. And by the way, like when Riku was hanging out as Ansem, he gave Kyrie a Keyblade out of nowhere. He just did.
Just have it.
He just pulled it out and was like, hey, here you go.
You got one. It's got butterflies on it.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, cool. And she got a Keyblade.
She has it.
Yeah.
We'll learn why later.
Riku doesn't have a Keyblade. He has a sword made of darkness. It's not a Keyblade.
This was not yours to give, Riku.
Technically,
But I don't know where he got the Keyblade.
It's a
Anyway.
question.
So there's a Keyblade War. There's a bunch of Keyblades now in this graveyard. It's unclear.
armored people being like, "Rrr."
Yeah. And for the record, for the rest of this thing, I'm going to be keeping a tally of how many of each character can exist at the same time.
Okay.
Because this is about to get real messy.
Now, I can't remember. Have we already been introduced to the concept of the Keyblade?
No. That
Okay.
will be much later.
Cool. Okay. I couldn't remember if that was into or
and
not.
I'm going to try and blaze through the stuff as much as possible going forward.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to take a guess as to what game comes next because honestly.
I'm not moving on to the game.
We aren't
We're
even
not
fucking
done with
done.
this
Oh,
yet.
shit.
Because at the end of every game from here on out, I'm going to keep a tally of this. By the end of this game, there have been 3 Soras.
Okay.
Sora Prime, Roxas, and Naminé, who is half Sora.
Okay.
There have been 2 Rikus, Riku Prime and Repliku. There have been 2 Kyries, Kyrie Prime, Naminé.
Naminé.
There have been 2 of every single person in Twilight Town existing at the same time.
Because there's a digital version.
And there are
the
4
real version.
Xehanorts already. Apprentice Xehanort. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, who is that Xehanort's Heartless.
Zemnis,
who is that Xehanort's Nobody. And Dark Riku, who is another version of Xehanort that existed at the same time as other Xehanorts.
Okay, so there are 4 Xehanorts presently.
So yeah, with that said,
Although some of them are gone now.
with that
right?
said, round table, what game do you guys think comes next?
All right. If I were to take a stab at this, I feel like are we going in release order here?
Release order.
I feel like release order is we're doing that 356 over 2.
That's what I
58.
think.
358.
358.
358.
Anyone else have any other thoughts?
Isn't it coded?
It is coded.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Kingdom Hearts coded.
Unfair
2008
answer.
on
Kingdom Hearts
mobile
coded.
phones in 2008.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts coded, the phone game that didn't come out
The
here.
not smartphone game.
The
The
least
base
accessible
fucking
game in this entire thing.
You could play it on your BlackBerry.
Recoded, please.
I forgot that this was a game at
Yeah,
all.
one of the least accessible games, except like you can get it on DS, I think.
Yeah.
The
Nothing
Eventually.
goes on. I'm gonna go
it's a
pee
garbage
real
game.
quick.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the potty break time if you're watching live at home.
All right, so this one's very short. This is how short, like 1 page. So, Mickey digitizes a journal chronicling Sora's journey that was written by Jiminy Cricket.
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
He turns
That's right. Jiminy Cricket has been following him this entire goddamn time.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to stop with Nook. I'm just going to write this shit
so
for
Mickey
you.
decides to digitize the journal written by Jiminy Cricket for Sora. In it,
You have memory problems, son.
when inside the digital world that the journal turns into.
Can we assume this is a similar digital process to what created the digital Twilight Town?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is
So
this
this
is
is
data
not-
that exists within the journal that makes a separate thing.
So, wait, when they're reading the journal, is that when they're... Or,
No, he puts it in a computer and it makes things inside the computer.
So he
And
put
they're trying to figure out a
essentially
secret message.
He essentially types in the journal entries to the computer, and the computer generates a universe.
He scans the journal.
Sorry, he scans the journal, and the computer takes these words and extrapolates entire worlds.
Whenever computers come into play, despite Nomura making video games, it's clear that he doesn't know how computers work.
No, he's showing you how he wishes computers
He has
work.
80s era ideas of how computers work.
Again, this is his world. This is how he wants computers to work.
He wants it to be magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Magic
all right.
computer.
So you play as a data version of Sora who defeats software bugs and Heartless that seep in eventually, so that Mickey can figure out the secret. Wait, Heartless can't get into the journal.
Right.
But Mickey can figure out a secret message hidden in the journal by Naminé. Naminé left a secret message in the journal.
Okay.
However, it turns out that Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Jiminy Cricket are hacked into the Matrix.
What?
Unbeknownst to them, which is explained to them by a Data Riku who serves as a sentient version of the journal Jiminy Cricket wrote for Sora.
Yes.
So we have a new Riku who is digital Riku, who is digital journal Riku, who is here, who is basically hi, I'm your guide on this CD-ROM adventure.
Digi-Repliku?
Yes.
Yeah. So eventually, they find out that Sora has to save 3 new characters hitherto unheard of, which is why Mickey sent them that letter at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
And this adds two more like doubles to the count. So there are now 4 Soras and 3 Rikus.
Did you reveal who the bad guy was in that game? Because
No, it doesn't matter.
I think it does.
Who is the bad guy,
So
Tyler?
the bad guy, you find out that Pete is in the Matrix world or whatever. I can't remember how he gets there.
He just sort of like sneaks in.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Maleficent.
and then he
it's
calls
Maleficent's
out-
magic.
Yeah.
Anything's
No,
possible.
not even. Just Maleficent. He calls for Maleficent, and she shows up there. I don't think she had to get it in a certain way. This because she heard her assistant's voice. She was able to go, "I'm here."
You thought of
she
me. I
goes-
exist now.
She goes, "Oh, this is important. Whatever this world is important. That's all you need to know about their existence."
And also she reveals that she's working with Xehanort again, I believe. At least in Recoded.
yeah,
I'm unclear on what's encoded and what's in Recoded because they added a bunch of stuff in Recoded to make it match up more with the chronology.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to number 5. Game number 5, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, released in 2009 on
Probably
DS.
the most confusing fucking title in this entire series.
And some people will vehemently argue that it is 350 days over 2. But here's the thing: the collection of games.
I was trying to see what the
Yeah,
logo was.
the collection of games makes it very clear that it's 358 over 2 days. That's what it says. So it's not 358 days over 2, even though that might make more sense.
Because it is 358
So yeah,
days.
this was released in 2009 on the DS.
so
Kind of the theory on that, isn't it? That he's with the organization for that long, and then he's
Yes, people know
outside
why it's
for
called
2
that.
days.
No, just 2 people.
Well,
Anyway, let's get into the game itself. That doesn't matter.
It could be
The
named many
titles
things for
are
many
some
reasons.
of the most meaningless things in Kingdom Hearts. This game covers what happened while Sora was asleep and Roxas was a member of Organization 13, that year period, before Roxas gets kidnapped for a week.
this is where we get introduced to Shion, right?
Yes, this game introduced the 14th member of the organization named Shion. It was definitely not a retcon, and looks like Naminé with black hair, or Kyrie with black hair. Take your pick.
Kairamane.
She can also use a Keyblade. Xion, Roxas, and Axel become best friends in the game. A lot of stuff that doesn't matter happens. Turns out she's an artificial version of Sora, created by Xemnas, just in case Roxas doesn't work out as their Keyblade wielder for the Kingdom Hearts plan. And her existing keeps Sora from getting his memories back, and it's also taking strength from Roxas, sapping his strength. So she ends up forcing Roxas to kill her so that she can stop messing stuff up. And also because this is totally not a retcon, when she disappears, literally everybody forgets she ever existed in order to create no continuity issues.
But they're really sad about her too.
So now,
For a bit, like he cries and he doesn't know why or something.
who I eat ice cream with?
Yeah, Roxas has been concerned.
That's
feel
his
like
last words to her.
I feel like something's wrong.
So there are now 5 Soras with the addition of Xion. And Xion also counts as a Kyrie because she's made up of Sora's memories of Kyrie. And Axel also has a flashback to Xion in the trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3 while looking at Kyrie, proving that Xion is a Kyrie. That gives us 3 Kyries and 5 Soras.
It's true. If we looked at her and thought, wow, that reminds me of this boy, then
Luckily, some of these games we can really blast through.
good. I remember watching that as a movie and still not really following.
This next one is not one of them. Number 6,
Crap.
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, released in 2010 for the PSP.
This is like the good one. I remember really liking playing through this one.
And for this one,
3 stories in
go
one.
ahead and show our trio of people. We can just leave them up for a while.
Because we...
Hey, is
we're
that
introduced to
Roxas?
a new...
No.
Don't worry.
Not. Don't you even start.
That one guy's hair looks
My
kinda
boy Tara down there, Anakin Keyblade Master.
Wow, that sure looks like a lot like Xehanort.
So
No,
I'm gonna
he's not.
I'm gonna cover these so we can go through this faster.
Go ahead.
So this game is about a kid named Ventus who looks like Roxas, and 2 older teens named Terra, who's like a big Riku, and Aqua, who is like a big Kyrie. They're all trained.
But
to be
don't think about that too much because I don't think that's how they parse.
No, it's just they exist to be parallels to Riku and Kyrie and Sora.
They exactly parse that way. Actually.
In a very
don't.
Naruto way. So they're all training to be Keyblade Masters under Master Ericus, who is voiced by Mark Hamill. And this story begins with the original Xehanort.
The for real one.
We could throw him up.
Yeah, let's get the real Xehanort up here.
OG Xehanort.
Yeah.
There it is, yeah.
That's the original Xehanort.
You know, Master Xehanort, one of the Keyblade Masters, the guys that you expect to train these Jedi disciples.
Now you may
Keyblade
notice
Masters.
he's really old. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't match up with the pictures of the other
Especially
Xehanort.
considering how far in the past this game takes place.
That does get explained in this game, luckily.
Yes.
We won't cover that right now, though. He's voiced by Leonard Nimoy, doing such a weird voice, but it's great. And the original Xehanort trained in a place called the Land of Departure alongside Master Ericus, and they eventually became Keyblade Masters. Xehanort is also originally from Destiny Islands, with the same world Sora and Riku are from, and he's a creepy old man. And he also does this a lot.
Yeah, he really loves to do finger moves.
Yeah.
Always
does that
playing an invisible
constantly.
piano.
Well, even like when he's like Sora, not Sora, but he may as well be screaming at Sora. So Xehanort learns about an ancient Keyblade War, and it was fought over something called Kingdom Hearts. And he thinks another Keyblade War could be really cool because then you can remake the world to be whatever you want or some bullshit. Master Ericus is like, no. And so Xehanort fucks up his face.
Yep.
Xehanort also believes that in the balance between dark and light, and thinks it's a mistake to just be cool with light. He thinks you gotta have a little both. A little column A, a little column B, and balance it out.
I don't disagree.
He's like a gray Jedi. I did that just for Dick.
Yeah, thank you.
Xehanort gets an apprentice named Ventus, who, pulling this back up, the
Different
trio.
guy. Don't.
Whoop.
So
no.
Ventus, right there, the one who looks like
Right down there.
Roxas.
Little lad.
Yeah, the one in the middle. He looks like Roxas. He is not Roxas. His name is Ventus. And he tries to split his heart into 2 pieces of pure light and pure dark because Ventus is a little pussy boy. That's the canonical reason.
Yep. He goes, you're too weak. I'm cutting you in half.
He won't fight Heartless good enough. So he successfully separates the darkness from Ventus's heart, but it looks like the light inside Ventus isn't enough to keep him alive, so Xehanort thinks he's going to die. In the diary entries for Xehanort, he notes that he actually wants Ventus to die somewhere where he can be comfortable. He actually feels kind of bad. So he slings him over a palm tree. Seems very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There you go.
On Destiny
There
Island.
you
He's
go.
like, all right, here you go. Die peacefully with the palm tree sticking in your ass. So at this moment, a newborn baby is born. And their heart reaches out to Ventus's heart. And they form a connection that keeps Ventus alive. This baby is Sora.
The baby Sora.
This baby is Sora.
Yeah, specifically just before he's born.
Well, Ventus's heart is separated just before he's born, but like as Sora's being born, he forms a connection with Ventus, who is also in Destiny Islands at that moment, and like helps Ventus stay alive by giving him like a little bit of heart energy.
Thank
So there is
goodness.
now an additional Sora.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay,
No.
but his heart is now.
Well, yeah, I would say yes. Ventus counts as another Sora because he
Okay.
only
Is he
exists to
half
explain
Sora?
the existence of Roxas. But seeing that Ventus is still alive, Xehanort decides to bring in a Master Ericus at the Land of Departure and let Ericus teach him. Ericus again is like he's the master at the master Keyblade guy, and who teaches other Keyblade wielders, which everybody can be a Keyblade wielder now if they got the right stuff.
Yeah, as long as they can get,
because Keyblades are made from your hearts now. You can have your own personal Keyblade, which is separate from the Kingdom Key, which is still a special Keyblade. We will cover that later.
Okay.
So
It's implied that the Keyblade that Mickey has here too isn't even his. It was just the one that Jansid had laying on the wall or whatever.
possibly. Also, this is where we notice that one of Ericus' students, Terra, Xehanort, notices that he has the potential for being a bad darkness boy. And he's like, ooh.
He goes about stealing a bunch of hearts for like no reason.
So Ericus decides that he's like cool Xehanort now. He because Xehanort's pretending to be really sorry about all that darkness talk and like, you know, scarring his face. And Ventus also very conveniently has amnesia. Years later, or a little while later, maybe not necessarily years, Ericus decides that Terra and Aqua are ready to take an exam to receive the mark.
And here's
of
where the
Mastery.
game starts.
Yes, I am covering this game in chronological order for this game's sake.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like this shit hasn't happened
Yeah,
yet.
no, I like from here on out, I will cover it in the way that will make the story make the
Okay.
most sense on a per game basis.
Gotcha.
I changed my tactic.
Much like Kingdom Hearts, we are ignoring our own rules
Yes.
in favor of making it a better feel.
In order to help you follow along better.
So Xehanort convinces Ericus that Terra might not be ready and has too much darkness in him, and then shows up to the exam and intentionally fudges it to make Terra fail. And then Xehanort and Terra have a relationship exactly like Palpatine and Anakin Skywalker from the prequels.
It is 1-to-1,
One-to-one.
not even a.
Nomura loves Star Wars so much.
And yet is not allowed to play with it.
And Xehanort spends the game manipulating Terra into doing what he wants and being a bad darkness boy.
And doesn't he like end up teaming with Maleficent too for a little bit
A little
there?
bit. Like Maleficent's like, ooh,
Ooh,
there
maybe
are
you
other
should go
worlds
take
out
that
there?
sleeping girl's heart for me.
Like Terra tips Maleficent off to the idea that there are other worlds, and it's like, oh, there's other things I could do for evil.
Yeah, but don't do
This
that.
essentially
though.
starts the precedent that Donald and Goofy keep holding to, where they're like, we can't tell people about other worlds because the last time we did that, an evil witch started
Yeah.
going to other worlds and ruining things.
Maleficent is the Klingons that created the Prime Directive for like the in.
Right now we're mixing trick.
Like mixing Trek lore into the Kingdom Hearts lore
You lost
because they
me.
have a Prime Directive in Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, you got Leonard Nimoy in here.
Yeah, exactly.
You got your Star Wars and your Star Trek. They're on opposite sides. Holy shit!
Yes.
No more
Holy
did that on
shit.
purpose,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That was absolutely on purpose. So Ventus, meanwhile, is getting manipulated by the dark half of his heart, who's named Vanitas, that wears the armor Riku wore when he was possessed by Ansem, Seeker of Darkness in Kingdom Hearts 1.
That dark muscle like
Yeah.
kid.
I always think it looks like a gorilla suit.
It looks like one of those children's Halloween costumes with the fake puffy
Yeah.
muscles.
Yeah, like Riku got a special outfit when he got possessed by Ansem, and this
It's got the
Vanitas is
branding
wearing
on it.
that, except that he has a helmet.
Just so you can do that face reveal later. And
Actually,
do we get?
the reason is he doesn't technically have a body for a while.
Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause
so
he
that's
doesn't
not.
have
I didn't.
Ventus's body.
I did not know that. But
But he eventually grows one.
it's Sora, isn't it?
Yeah, he grows
He has
Sora's
Sora
body
head.
because of Sora's connection to Ventus. Vanitas has Sora's face because of something to do with Sora's heart connecting to Ventus when he was a baby. Meanwhile, Vanitas convinces Ventus to chase after Terra as Terra goes off to do bad things because Xehanort convinced him to in a bunch of Disney worlds while thinking he's doing the good things, but he's actually doing the bad things while being obviously manipulated by Xehanort because Terra's fucking stupid.
Yes.
He's a goddamn idiot.
He's really dumb and he gets bad end.
Meanwhile, Aqua has officially been named a Keyblade Master. She passed the test and basically spends
She gets to go hang out with Stitch.
Yeah, she spends the entire part of the game cleaning up after Terra and Ventus's messes all across the worlds because she's the best of all of them.
Yep.
You were the best of us, Aqua.
All three of them have the power to make special Power Ranger armor appear on their bodies,
And they get to create vehicles out of their Keyblades
and they turn their Keyblades into motorcycles to travel through darkness. The
Straight
armor
Kamen Rider
protects them
shit.
without those cloaks. They can make the armor happen, which is created from their soul.
Love of everything.
It's part of being a Keyblade master that just
Yeah,
didn't
you learn
quite
how to
make it
turn your
past
soul
this
into
point.
armor, I believe.
Look.
I could be wrong there. Do not take that one.
Riku and Sora are currently trying to learn how to do this shit, but we'll get into that later.
This lets them travel through darkness without a gummy ship or a black cloak. There's also creatures called the Unversed that are hanging out. They look kind of like Heartless.
Oh my fucking
but
God,
they're
that's
not.
right.
They're
the
something
Unversed.
different. They're the Unversed. It turns out that they are creatures that exist because Vanitas exists, and they're messing up all the worlds. They're fledgling emotions that are too powerful, and they're beating everybody up.
The darkness
Maybe
in Ventus's heart that was split away from him has gotten
created a
too
problem.
emotional and is creating little baby emotion monsters.
And also Mickey Mouse is running around the game helping out with a different Keyblade than the one he has in the other games.
Yeah, this is the first time you run into him like training to be a Keyblade master.
No, he's actually still a Keyblade master now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, he is already a master by the time
He's
we
already a
first meet
king
him.
as well.
Yeah, he's
Of
already
course he's a king.
He's just running around though, and he left his post again, except for the first time.
Disney royalty, man, they have no responsibility.
Apparently,
And they
Queen
kill a
Minnie
lot.
is all about responsibility.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's the one.
Queen Minnie sticks around. She's a goddamn power
This
bomb,
is
man.
obviously a monarchy.
Yeah. So during their adventures, Terra sees Riku and Sora playing at Destiny Islands, looking around 7 or so. Which, by the way, let's keep the trio up while we discuss this because we have to bounce between different people.
Yay.
Terra is the Riku-looking motherfucker on the right. So Sora and Riku are playing in Destiny Islands, around 7 years old-ish. And except they had to be younger because this is 10 years before Kingdom Hearts 1. So they're like around 4 or 5?
And Riku walks up and touches his Keyblade.
No. Terra decides right there on the spot. He talks to Riku and Riku's like, I want power to protect the people who are important to me. And he's like, you're a solid kid.
Yeah, I can
I
Like
you.
me, and I haven't done anything wrong yet.
I do nothing wrong.
I'm great.
So he decides to do a special thing
The mark of passage.
yeah, that automatically gives Riku the ability to use a Keyblade one day, which is a thing you can do when you're a Keyblade wielder.
It's basically like knighting them with Keyblade power.
Yeah, essentially.
And it involves touching the hilt of Terra's Keyblade, and this is apparently why Riku ends up being a candidate for the Kingdom Key Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 1, the Keyblade.
That one.
Yes, that one right there. That's the reason. It was initially going to choose Riku because Terra gave him the ability to be chosen. This is also the first time we learned that Sora has a dad with a boat. That's just dropped in there a little bit.
Say, get your dad to get the boat.
So we heard his mom in Kingdom Hearts
And he-
1.
and
And
we hear as a dad.
And we hear about his dad.
we know nothing about Riku's family situation,
Yeah,
though.
as far as we know, Riku orphan.
We do know Kyrie had a grandma.
Probably related to Maleficent or some shit.
Speaking of Kyrie and her grandma,
Okay.
We meet her.
earlier in the story in Radiant Gardens, the place that eventually becomes Hall of Bastion, where Ansem the Wise was in charge, we see that in this is the world where Kyrie originally came from. Aqua runs into Kyrie and gives her a protection charm that Kyrie has in the first game, and is like, oh, it's my lucky charm. Also, Kyrie ends up inadvertently touching Aqua's Keyblade.
Yep, that's it.
Which presumably just gives her the ability to use one later on. Why Riku would know this in Kingdom Hearts 2 and just bring a Keyblade somehow? Never explained, never
Dude.
will be explained.
He's talked so much with Terra. Terra would have an idea.
You touched this. Now you get to keep it.
I get to wield a Keyblade just because you touch it.
So we also
Well, bullshit, hold on. Leon touched a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 1. Why doesn't he get one?
It wasn't under
Does he have to be a child?
friendly
Because Sora
circumstances.
wasn't a master.
it was the Keyblade.
wait,
It wasn't
neither
the
was
Keyblade
Terra.
of
Never
Sora's
mind.
heart.
Oh, okay, so it has to be the Keyblade of their heart.
I just made that up.
Okay, but you said it with such conviction that I believe
know.
you.
That's how easy it is to bullshit Kingdom Hearts shit. So we also meet a whole bunch of the original somebodies of the members of Organization 13, which includes Axel, whose original name is Lee,
Brag.
and Zigbar, whose original name was Brag.
and Zayx, who is Issa.
Yes, those
Or
characters,
Isa.
Zayx and Zigbar, didn't really matter in Kingdom Hearts 2. They matter now.
They have plot relevance now.
It turns out Xehanort wants to have Ventus and Vanitas fight so that he can create something called the Keyblade. which uses
It's a
the
different
Greek,
symbol entirely.
the Greek letter Key or Chi that
Which
looks
he
like an
never
X.
neglects to mention, and I really appreciate that. Every time Xehanort comes in to explain
Based on
the
the Greek letter
Keyblade. Yeah,
If you're
it's
just
placed on the letter
listening-
key, also pronounced Kai.
Yeah,
The
and-
Keyblade.
And it looks like an X. In the subtitles, it always says X blade. It's always pronounced Keyblade, just like the normal Keyblade stuff. But it is an X blade or a Chi blade,
But it is
or a
the
Keyblade or a Chi
Keyblade.
blade. But either way, let's pull up
The Keyblade.
the Keyblade. Yeah,
Yes.
the X blade, the Chi
There it
blade.
is.
There it is. It's not, it's a sword now.
Yeah. From here on out, we're gonna call it the Chi blade. To make things as
Just-
simple as possible.
I like how it has the most uncomfortable fucking handle because it's literally just grabbing onto
it's
two
bullshit.
sword guards.
Yes. And in the games, like if you play Kingdom Hearts 3 without playing the other ones, you're still going to be confused because they will always refer to it as the Keyblade. Read the subtitles to know what they're talking about. Which this is also a pun, a layered pun. That involves the languages of English, Greek, and Japanese.
Because ki means energy.
Ki means energy in Japanese. Ki is a letter in the Greek alphabet. And it also means something. I forget what that means. And
just the English word key.
the English word key, it sounds like Keyblade.
It has layers.
The Keyblade is important because it will give Xehanort access to Kingdom Hearts so that he can make another Keyblade War happen, so people will fight over Kingdom Hearts, and then he will destroy the world so that he can remake it however he wants to make it.
his image.
Basically. Eventually, Ericus tries to kill Ventus because he figures out that he's part of Xehanort's plan, but Terra's like, no, and beats Ericus, and then Xehanort just fucking kills Ericus.
You're the
while he's weak.
chosen one, Terra.
Yes. Well, except no, Ericus is the Sam Jackson Mace Windu in this
so-
situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Oh, so Aqua is the Obi-Wan.
just like
Yes.
Mace Windu, defeated and weakened by Anakin / Terra, and then killed,
Emperor shows up
and then
to
killed
finish
the
by
job.
Palpatine
Xehanort.
/ Xehanort.
Gotcha.
It's so 1-to-1.
Prequels are great, man.
So Xehanort kills Ericus, and Ericus dies in Terra's arms, and Terra's like, oh man, maybe I've been an asshole this whole time.
Maybe I made wrong
This whole
choices.
time,
But also Ericus is like, you know what? I was kind of an asshole for trying to kill Ventus, so
this whole time, Terra's under the assumption that Xehanort's not a bad guy. He's just a weird guy who's just doing maybe bad things.
because Xehanort puts on this weird puppy dog face that looks so creepy. He's like, oh, woe is me. I want to be a good guy.
want to help the
Gotta
world,
go stop him. He's gonna kill your best friend. Fuck! He's dead. What are you gonna do about it? I'm destroying this world.
I'm going to destroy everything and make it better.
That's basically it. So Ventus.
I need a different body though.
So Ventus, Vanitas, Aqua, Terra, Xehanort, and Mickey Mouse all meet up. Can't forget. In a place called the Keyblade Graveyard from the cool cinematic all the way back in the secret ending of Kingdom Hearts 2. This is where that finally makes sense.
Yep.
So Terra fights Xehanort, and then Xehanort reveals that his plan with Terra was to make Terra a darkness boy so that Xehanort can take over his body like Orochimaru in Naruto.
Yep.
We're mixing our
I need a
things.
new vessel. My body's getting old.
And he fucking does it.
Yeah,
After the most bullshit boss fight in the history of Kingdom Hearts.
So he
right.
possesses Terra by stabbing himself in the heart with his own Keyblade and releasing his heart and trying to throw it into Terra's body. Terra,
You're very receptive to all my darkness.
Terra, however, attaches his will or mind or soul
To his
interchangeable
armor.
to his special armor and
Leading to the second most bullshit boss fight.
Oh yeah.
and Xehanort's possession of Terra, we call that Terranort now.
Okay.
Terranort has to fight Terra's soul, which is in armor, which is not Terra's heart, but his soul, which is separate because Terra's heart is still in his own body.
And then Terra's armor wins, but it fucking loses because he can't win.
yeah,
They call it the lingering will. I'm gonna assume it's just his willpower was there. I mean,
which is
it's also his soul.
which is also his mind and his soul.
It is the fight that made me learn how to block.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ventus and Vanitas are fighting, and they fuse and make the Kai blade. Mickey and Aqua fight the Ventus, who's now been taken over by Vanitas, and the Kai blade breaks. Also, Ventus fights Vanitas inside himself and kills Vanitas. He kills his own darkness. All of it.
Slaying his own
demons, man.
darkness.
But he literally just killed a part of himself, so he's dying again.
Oh, good.
Ventus's heart decides to pop over to Sora's place and stay with Sora for a while. So Ventus's heart is actually hiding inside Sora's heart and has been this entire time.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why Sora can use a Keyblade, most likely.
But wait a second. But when Sora's heart was let out and it released Kyrie's, what did...
I guess Ventus's heart was like, I'll just stick with Sora.
I'll be over here. We'll make a quick Roxas, though.
It is implied that his heart left, and that's all I'm gonna say.
So
Sora is no longer Sora.
Yeah, it's possible that Ventus's heart just went and entered the nobody of Roxas.
What?
That's possible.
So maybe
But if
Roxas
you know
was
more,
never
we will
a
discuss
nobody.
that when it's pertinent. Because I've done research on this, and there's still things I might not know. I've done research for fucking weeks. So let's see, where am I?
Also, Bragg was there.
Questions we ask ourselves.
I'm in point R.
Point R.
Because it's an alphabetical thing. Aqua hides Ventus's body in the land of departure, but she does a special trick Ericus taught her and turns it turns that entire world into Castle Oblivion from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Oh, okay.
So that was the land of departure the entire time. She just does a little thing and turns it into that.
I think I remember hearing that, and it's like ringing a bell now.
Yeah, and
I remember seeing that cutscene when she does it, and I go,
Yeah.
and that's where we were all through Chain of Memories.
yeah. So that's the land of departure where Keyblade wielders used to learn how to do Keyblade stuff.
And ironically, it's where Sora forgot everything.
Yes. Then she goes to find Terra because Terra's still out there somewhere being possessed by Xehanort.
You fight his armor in Kingdom Hearts 2 if you
Yep.
find that.
They all the armor stays in the Keyblade graveyard and just hangs out there.
Yeah.
Although you
What's
find
it gonna do?
Where do you fight it in?
And
the,
it fights
Hollow
anybody it
Bastion.
sees.
Yeah, you fight it in Hollow Bastion if you want to do that boss fight.
Yeah. So Terranort is at Radiant Garden. Aqua tries to help Terra, but when Terra tries to take his body back from Xehanort, Xehanort decides to stab himself with a Keyblade and fall into the realm of darkness. Aqua jumps in to the portal to try and save Terra and gives Terranort her special Keyblade Master armor in order to save him and shoots him out of the darkness hole and puts him back in Radiant Garden in order to save him. And she lets herself fall into the realm of darkness and just that's where
Exists
she
there
goes.
until a game later on.
Yeah.
By the way,
with-
she has no idea about the whole Terra lost his body and everything.
He just looks like he got a tan
Yeah,
real
she
quick.
doesn't know about that plan.
Yeah. No, she doesn't know that happened to her
Yeah.
at all because
She doesn't know
she's
about
just
Xehanort's
what
plan to do that, and she doesn't know that it happened. So with Aqua in darkness, there's nobody who can free Ventus from Castle Oblivion because she's the only person who can undo Castle Oblivion and get him out. And she's also the only person who knows he's fucking there.
Yep.
So with her in darkness, Ventus is just kind of fucked.
I'm sure that'll come up.
Yeah, Terranort ends up back in Radiant Garden, but he has amnesia and doesn't remember being old man Xehanort.
Okay, that's the problem. Okay, that's where I lost it because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Then if he was his apprentice, then
So let's pull up Terranort real quick, and we'll leave him up for a
quick
while.
here for
Click here for Terranort. There he is.
This is Xehanort, old man Xehanort, having
Randy
possessed
Ortoning
Terra's
here.
body. So
about to deliver the sickest RKO all over Disney World.
Are you not entertained?
And while he's there with amnesia, and he knows his name is Xehanort, but that's it. He's still in darkness a whole lot. He's still like,
This evil shit's cool.
darkness really makes me feel things. And he
Gives me the tinglies. Can we make a darkness world?
Ansem the Wise shows up and it's like, oh hey, look, a boy who doesn't know things.
look, a
I will
puppy.
take him in. And we realize that the Xehanort that did all the stuff in the first two Kingdom Hearts games was not the real Xehanort, but Terranort.
Which is kind of Xehanort.
I mean, yeah.
It's not
He
Xehanort's
hasn't
body,
gotten
though.
his memory back
And
yet. though.
Terra's still in there the entire time.
Oh my god.
So Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas were both Terranort's Heartless and Nobodies, not technically Xehanort Primes, which is why they look
So
like Terranort.
what about the Terra that's trapped in like Aqua's armor and shit? Or is that?
That's the same person.
Yeah,
he wasn't trapped in that armor.
Oh, he was shot off into space in that armor. Gotcha.
Yes. The armor that you can fight in 2 is actually Terra's
that's his
will and mind.
So
there.
there's also a small bit where it's implied that Ericus's heart kind of stuck around with Terra, and it'll help Terra from being completely destroyed by Xehanort's heart. And there's a line that kind of refers to Ericus as his dad, but
We'll
I'm not
see him
sure
as
how literal that
see him
is.
as a Force ghost at the end of 3, and the Sora will be like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, I'm assuming that
That guy.
I'm assuming that Ericus is not literally Terra's dad, but they have a line.
Viewed
about
him
that.
like a son.
Yeah. So there are now. I'm gonna go through the whole list. There are now 7 Soras.
Oh fuck me, Jesus Christ!
Sora Prime, Roxas, Naminé, Datasora, Xion, Ventus. He counts as a Sora.
Vanitas.
Ventus counts as a Sora because he only exists conceptually to explain Roxas. So he's Sora. He's just another Sora. And Vanitas, who literally looks like Sora. There are 4 Rikus. Riku Prime, Repliku, Data Riku, and Terra, who only exists to be a Riku counterpart to the Sora.
I wouldn't call him a Rika then.
I count him as a Riku.
Would you call him a Xehanort?
Yes. He's in the Xehanort list.
Okay.
4 Kyries because Aqua also counts as a Kyrie because she exists as a counterpart.
That's a soft count.
Just a conceptual Kyrie.
Aqua is still an existing character moving
No,
forward.
all of these characters can exist at the same time, though. That's the entire
fuck.
point.
Look. That's like calling Jiraiya a Naruto.
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
Fuck me, I guess.
Tsunade's little brother is also a Naruto. They're all Naruto.
There are a lot of Narutos.
We are all Naruto. Sora's a Naruto.
Yeah,
Gaara was a Naruto.
Yes. Eventually, he became a Naruto. And there are 5
Pain
Xehanorts.
was a Naruto.
Xehanort Prime, Terranort, formerly known as Apprentice Xehanort. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, Terranort's Heartless. Xemnas, Terranort's Nobody. Dark Riku, possessed by Terranort's Heartless. Not Xehanort's Heartless, Terranort's.
I forget. Have we gone into who Ansem the Wise actually is?
Yes.
We covered
Yeah,
that.
he's appeared and disappeared by now.
But he's just himself. He's
Yes.
not another. He's not a.
no,
fucking,
he is a scientist.
I am not,
king.
yes,
All right.
I'm not counting him as a Xehanort.
Good. So Ansem the Wise is literally his own person. He's
Yeah.
not the nobody or the fucking
He's
whatever
also
of anyone.
Diz, technically.
Well, yeah, but
So there are 2.
so he's got a nickname.
yeah.
But
So we're starting to get there. We're on the 7th game that I'm getting to in the series.
Dream drop distance.
You ruined my joke.
I'm sorry.
oh,
I was going to do a thing where it's like, finally in 2012, we finally got Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance.
That is like the only joke to it. Is the reason that they gave it that title.
And so released in 2012 on the Nintendo 3DS. Okay.
Now, this game really fucks a lot of things.
Yeah, because
What if Kingdom
here's
Hearts
where.
wait a second. Is this the time travel one?
Yes.
I'm out.
It is also where this might have happened. This might not have. It's all dreams.
All right.
Because it's taking place in worlds in your mind. Also.
All right, so let's just get into it. We still have stuff to go through. For this game, Sora and Riku visit Yen Sid, who throws them into a dream world in order to help the Disney worlds that are asleep. Because
sleeping
worlds
now.
can go to sleep when they're like, oh man, this is too much darkness. I'm going to conk out because Heartless can't get me over here in the dream world.
And it's also part of their training to become Keyblade Masters,
yes,
right?
Yeah, this is their gauntlet.
Because they need to learn how to zap, zoobity, zip-bop around.
So they're gonna wake up. They're gonna wake up sleeping worlds to help them, and that's gonna be their training to become Keyblade Masters. Also, everybody in Kingdom Hearts 2 who was an Organization 13 member is now back in their original somebody forms because all their nobodies died. Because when you destroy a Heartless and a nobody,
The original
person comes back. Not the least of which is Axel, whose real name is Lee, Lea.
Because they didn't really think about the rule before they made it.
Yes.
Wait, have we seen Axel's nobody? Or not nobody.
Somebody.
His somebody was in Birth by Sleep.
No, I'm sorry. Lee's Heartless.
No,
We don't see-
we have not seen a single Organization 13 members Heartless.
Huh.
Unless we did and we didn't know it.
You saw Roxas.
Because Heartless do not usually keep their human bodies. The only reason Xehanort did is because he did it to himself willingly. So we might have fought them as bosses, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Sora did it to himself willingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
I
became
told
a
you
little
they
bug
break their
boy.
own rules constantly.
Yeah, but remember, he only turned into a little bug boy.
there wasn't much darkness in that.
Think about this. If he just turned into a little bug boy, any single one of their heartlesses could have just been a fucking mob that you fucking axed.
Could have just been one of those randos you killed.
You know, it's true.
I was grinding and
you
accidentally killed Issa's Heartless.
We still have so much to get through. Let's
keep going.
So in the dream world, there's these creatures
2
called
hours
Dream
into this.
Eaters, who are kind of like little Neopet Pokemon, who Sora and Riku use to fight the bad Dream Eaters, who are like nightmares. And there's good ones and bad ones.
The good ones are colorful. The bad ones are
spirits? Bad ones are nightmares. Good ones are Dream Eaters.
Yeah.
You gotta have that distinction because it comes up later.
And the Dream Eaters, you'd think would be the bad guys, but they're the good guys.
But they are both
because there's-
spirits, specifically?
Yes, they are both spirits.
that are also called Dream Eaters.
Yeah.
In the game, they refer
Don't
to them as
worry.
Dream Eaters.
Naming is so
No,
fun
they
in Kingdom
call them
Hearts.
spirits in the game and then say that there's two
Okay.
different ones.
they're little pudgy kitties and other animals.
So, like, they do stuff. They try to wake up like sleeping worlds. Eventually, we learn that Riku is actually inside Sora's dreams the entire game, helping Sora, who keeps conking out and falling asleep.
You mean
Yeah.
Yes.
That one.
And Xehanort,
Bringing it back.
And we also learned that Xehanort has been doing time travel this whole time from game 1 to set up his big evil plan.
He's
And
his
here's where
own
we get
self-fulfilling
to
prophecy.
the rules of how time travel works in Kingdom Hearts, which I have in all caps here. Only a heart can time travel.
Only your
Specifically.
heart travels.
You have to reduce yourself to a heart and then time travel. So when Xehanort time traveled to the past, he didn't have a body, which is why he had a burlap sack instead of a body.
Okay. Oh, so there was no physical being there, just the sack.
Yes.
Just a,
me.
just a,
Okay.
just a
Xehanort
heart
was
in
a
there
sack.
in a sack cloth, whatever you want to call it. Weird cloak.
All he did was point.
Yeah.
And sound like Billy Zane.
Except, in the dream world, all the different versions of Xehanorts can gather in one place with bodies, but it's the dream, so maybe the rules are different. I'm not clear on that. It's also revealed that nobodies eventually grow their own hearts over time, and Xemnas was lying to the the members of Organization 13 when they said they couldn't have hearts. In this game, we also learn that Xehanort can make other people Xehanort
He can.
without fully possessing them like he did Terra. He can just make them partly him.
He can just nort them.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have to. Usually, they have to sort of almost be coerced into it, though, in a way.
So they have to they have to concede to the norting.
Not exactly. So Zigbar and Syx from Organization 13 are revealed to be Xehanorts now, because I think Xehanort turned Issa, who is Axel's friend in the original world, into a nobody again in order to nort him.
And it's when they get the yellow eyes that they have truly
Yes.
been norted.
When they have yellow eyes, they are norted.
Which, going back over something, he norts Zigbar in the middle of Birth by Sleep,
Yes.
and it doesn't change. Go on.
He was already he's already half Xehanort.
Yeah.
And there are 12 Xehanorts gathered in total, including himself, just at different ages.
Yup.
And Xehanort wants
Including
to
the
make
old
Sora,
one that's fucking dead.
and Xehanort wants to make Sora his final Xehanort.
You will be my perfect nort.
And also, the
true
original
Nort.
old-ass Xehanort is now revealed to be fully back to life now that Ansem and Xemnas were both destroyed.
Ah, there we go. That's right. That's why old ass.
So why didn't he
Xehanort
come
was
back
there.
as Terranort? Question from the audience.
Presumably, I'm presuming, given the logic that exists, which might be broken, so Xehanort turns into
Impossible.
himself after they go away. Presumably, Terra just turns into himself as well, and
So
he's
there's
just a
just a-
completely separate.
So there's a
being.
Terra out there too.
I
then.
would assume,
possibly.
but I do not know that. That's
this is
my theory.
This is the stuff that they'll probably tell us in 3.
This is my theory. So Riku, Mickey, and Axel show up. Axel decides to show up to the Sid's place. They stop the evil plan from happening and wake Sora up. All the Xehanorts go back to their place in the timeline, forgetting that they did any time travel stuff. It's Doctor Who rules. And that's how Xehanort's big plan works, actually. Xehanort went back in time and told his younger self about stuff and taught him evil guy stuff. And then he left. Young Xehanort doesn't remember all the stuff with his mind, but his heart remembers. And so he goes off to do evil. His heart guides him on the evil path from then on out, which creates a fucking paradox. But that is not
Don't
the biggest
worry
problem
about it.
here. Also, at the end of the game, Axel
Lee.
Just Lee. He insists on being called Lee now,
Got it
but everyone calls
memorized?
him Axel.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man,
I
look
wish.
at those Keyblades. Poof.
And then he gets one.
He gets a Keyblade.
He has a
and
Keyblade.
and everybody in the game's like, and everybody on is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I remember that.
What are the rules?
There are no rules.
At some point, he held hands with Aqua, and now
You know what? Roxas let him touch his Keyblade.
there you go.
Of course, Roxas did. Anyway.
Why wouldn't he? I bet Shion let him touch. I bet they all crossed blades.
Actually, real talk. Now that I think about it, you meet Lee as Ventus in Birth by Sleep.
Yes.
There's a very real chance he touches your Keyblade at some point during that meeting that I'm not
it's
thinking about.
Possible.
When you fight with him, you're not even using your Keyblade.
Yeah, you're using
that
the
toy.
Yeah, you're using a toy, so I don't know.
So I don't think he ever sees it.
Yeah. Anyway, there are now 8 Xehanorts.
Aren't there
Technically, there are 12, but there are only 8 that we know.
But there are 12 at the council.
we
show
see
up.
12 sitting there.
But we don't know
But we
who
only-
they all
Some of
are.
them still have hoods on, so you don't really
we
know
can
them.
only identify 8 of them.
Xehanort Prime, Young Xehanort, Terranort, Ansem Seeker of Darkness, Semnis, Dark Riku, Zigbar Xehanort, Issa Xehanort, and we had a real close call with Sora, but he was not fully Norded.
He's not a true Nort. Although Sora is everybody else. Are they a Xehanort or are they a Sora? It's
A Soranot. Nort.
and asking that question is more of a what shade of gray is this than it is a yes or no.
We are getting to the home stretch. The 8th game that I'm covering,
All right, now-
because I'm going slightly out of chronology here.
Sorry. I had
Oh,
to
we're
make
out of
sure the
chronology
darkness
now.
Didn't overtake me there.
Yeah. In order to make things as understandable as possible,
Good.
I put certain games in a pile together for the very end.
That's a way to put it.
So, the 8th game that we're talking about now is Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep: A Fragmentary Passage, released in 2017 on the PS4/Xbox One.
All right, so Kingdom Hearts 3 beta demo.
Yes.
Yep.
So this game covers Aqua, who stumbles around in darkness for a while after Birth by Sleep, and time works differently in there. So it seems like it's just like a 2-hour game, but it's actually a decade, and that she spends in there.
Okay, so we're playing by interstellar rules, like gravity's really heavy
Yes,
there. Okay.
Yeah. And she also fights an evil version of herself, which I mentioned only just to add that to the list of Kyrie's.
Got you. Okay.
Mickey eventually shows up, revealing that we are now in the events of Kingdom Hearts 1. He's looking for the Kingdom Key D.
Here we go.
Which
Darkness
is,
Key.
Which is the version of Sora's Kingdom Key, except it's the Realm of Darkness version. That's the Kingdom Key of the Realm of Light. That's the one of the Realm of Darkness.
Oh, okay.
Realm of Darkness is gold because darkness is better, I guess.
Because it mirrors it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hot. Anyway, Mickey and Aqua find that Keyblade. Mickey's shirt comes off randomly so that a silhouette can match the cutscenes in Kingdom Hearts 1. It literally just happens where
Yes.
a group of Heartless punch Mickey, and
He
his
wakes
shirt
up and his shirt is
disappears.
gone.
Like you see it like go away, turn it to sparkles. And Aqua fights off Heartless to help Mickey. This is not going to work.
It was
Let's do it this way. Do it like diagonal.
diagonally.
Yeah.
I
See?
got you. Diagonal.
Anyway. So, Aqua fights off Heartless to help Mickey close the door to darkness back in Kingdom Hearts 1,
haven't helped
which
one.
means that she was behind the door in Kingdom Hearts 1 the entire time.
Yeah, she was there, just no one saw her.
And then Mickey goes on to intentionally abandon her in the Realm of Darkness and never tell anyone about it. He just doesn't fucking tell anybody. She's there. He knows she's there. And he's like, problem for another day.
Until
By the way, I completely forgot to bring up that Aqua's in
0.2.
there.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure this one out.
Because he
And,
does
uh,
mention it eventually.
Aqua also runs into Ansem the Wise, who's apparently not dead after Kingdom Hearts 2 and is just hanging out in the Realm of Darkness.
Just been blasted there.
We then cut to events directly after Kingdom Hearts 3D. Riku is named a Keyblade Master because he passed his test with flying colors.
Sora did not.
Mickey brings up Aqua for the first time ever. And Ricky's like, what the fuck? Why didn't you tell anyone about this? And Mickey's like, well, don't question me, I'm the king, bitch. And they go
Word
off
for
to
word.
rescue Aqua together.
His actual logic is more along the lines of, if I told you you'd want to go rescue her, and they're like, yeah, we should really go help her.
Mickey has the fucking Keyblade of the Realm of Darkness. He leaves people in the Realm of Darkness like an asshole. Mickey's
The
a bad
mouse is
person.
cruel, man. The mouse is cruel. Why do you think they leave Star
Heavy
Wars?
wears the crown.
Why do you think they leave Star Wars with EA?
Leadership, you have to make hard decisions.
Sometimes you've got to decide what's more important.
This is
Not
why
her.
I elected
And the
myself.
answer is always money.
So, Sora, on the other hand, failed his Keyblade Master test and has also lost all his powers as a result again.
Welcome back to level 1, Sora.
I kind of like, though, that they try to canonically justify why you have to start over.
Yeah.
No one would ask questions.
every fucking,
Diegetic mechanics of, here's why you're level 1 again.
every fucking game, Samus loses all of her armor for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, Yen Sid sends Sora out to get his powers back by telling him to go hang out with Hercules. But this is just something personal I want to bring up. He never mentions Hercules' name, which I think is because they had to pay royalties to Disney in order to
think?
use that name. They reference Olympus Coliseum. They say someone who's very powerful, and they're like, oh yeah.
And they all start flexing.
Phil.
But they talk.
Danny DeVita.
But they talk around Hercules, never say his name. I think it's because if they did, they would have had to pay for the rights to use that version of Hercules.
Yeah, actually, you might be right.
It's just a weird thing.
The fact
if
that
they
it mentions
just
Mount
ref-
Olympus is the only thing that makes me
Yes, if
wonder.
they reference it, they're still using the character that has existed previously.
Okay, so only by referencing the name would they have to.
I think so, but they talk around it. And Olympus Coliseum is a name they came up with, so they
Okay.
get to use that.
Oh, that's
All right,
true.
that's fair.
That's my theory that I noticed when I watched that stuff. So also, Kyrie and Axel are going to go train to use their Keyblades together, and this presumably leads into Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
There are now 5 Kyries because of we add Dark Aqua to the list.
I think there were only 3 Kyries, but
We're not done yet.
We are not done
Oh my
yet.
God, that's right. The other mobile.
yo, yeah, prepare for some story. A lot
This-
of it, actually.
Is much longer.
We're 2 hours into this.
We will be ending soon. This is the home stretch.
We're gonna just
All right. Number 9. Kingdom Hearts Cross / Unchained Cross / Union Cross / back cover. Released in 2013, 2015, 2017, respectively on the web browsers and mobile devices and a movie.
What does this title say above me? Does that say Unchained?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used only one. I could have thrown them all on there. I decided to show some restraint.
mistake.
I'm considering this all one single story and one single game. They are multiple games on multiple things.
This is its
many
own
of which you
series of
can't
games,
One
essentially.
of which you cannot access anymore at all.
oh Jesus.
But here we go. This story is all about how the fabled Keyblade War happened. The one that Xehanort got horny for and made that big Keyblade graveyard thing. Back in the day, there was only one world. Not many worlds, just a single one. And Kingdom Hearts is just hanging out in the sky all the time.
Because it is the moon.
Which, by the way, we didn't cover this.
When
Kingdom
people talk
Hearts
about
and Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts
Hearts,
1 is not the real Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
The Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts
Yup.
2 is not the real Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that was an artificial Kingdom Hearts.
It's a synthetic Kingdom Hearts.
What?
The real Kingdom Hearts is the one that showed up in Birth by Sleep. We never saw the first Kingdom Hearts until that game on the PSP.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And now we have the real one in this game,
The real
which
one-
ends in a fucking genocide.
This one, the real Kingdom Hearts just hung out in the sky and is the heart of all worlds. Like all the world's hearts are that heart.
You know, Kingdom Hearts.
Except there's only one world at this point.
Kingdom Heart.
But they
big
call it Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts
Heart.
anyway, I believe, or it's just like the thing that's up there. I don't remember. Also, everybody and the grandma can use a Keyblade, except there are no grandmas. Nobody's older than 20 in this game.
it is a world of youth.
And
things seem pretty good,
anthropomorphic
though.
animals.
Things are pretty good though. They're heartless hanging out, but people deal with it. There's a guy named the Master of Masters who can see the future. And he also has 6 apprentices. He gives 5 of them books that have his
detailed accounts of the future.
Yeah, of the future, or at least what he wanted to tell them, and has them create special separate factions of Keyblade warriors who are all killing Heartless and gathering a resource called light, basically. The 6th apprentice, named Lushu, doesn't get a book, but he does get a special Keyblade with an eyeball in it and a box. This Keyblade is Xehanort's Keyblade that we saw in Birth by Sleep.
The Master of Masters Keyblade, which that little eye at the very end is his eye.
That's his eye, and everything that Keyblade sees going forward as it is passed down from apprentice to apprentice,
He will witness, and then he's like,
witnesses it.
"Oh, that's cool."
And that's how he's able to see the future. Which of all the things, that is one of my favorite.
I think that's
metaphysical
actually
things.
a very cool
That's
thing.
really awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
But
I
only
actually
his
agree.
eye's heart can time travel back to tell him.
No, I love the eye thing. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's stupid anime bullshit, but
it's
I'm
the perfect
1,000% in. Yeah.
It's bullshit, but I believe it.
No,
Yeah.
it's the good kind of
I like
bullshit.
those rules.
This is the dumb shit I like.
So yeah, presumably this was passed down from Lushu on to apprentice and apprentice for hundreds of years until it eventually got down to Xehanort somehow. We don't know who gifted it to Xehanort. Presumably the person who ran that school.
Doth
but we don't
plagueis
know.
the wise.
Yes.
My question about it is that Ericus is the one who's named for the school,
Yes,
but Xehanort
but he does
gets
not have that Keyblade.
Yeah.
So either someone else gave Xehanort that Keyblade, or
Ericus is like, "Oh fuck, this has got an eye in it."
This one's ugly.
yeah, or the whoever was in charge of that school before gave that to Xehanort and gave Ericus a school. It was like, you know what? Like it's like an inheritance
Yeah.
thing. He like split it between people.
Here you go. You get the cool ass
Which actually,
Keyblade.
that-
You get to
that
be in
doesn't
charge of the
make
school.
sense.
And the rest of these guys, all these other tomes were just lost to time, I guess.
So he also gets a box, a special box. I think I
Lushu
said
does.
that. Yeah,
Step
Lushu,
one.
Lushu gets a box. It's unopened, but it's very important apparently. And Lushu, like, he gets whispered what it is, and he's like, "What? What is that? What? That's crazy." And we don't know what it is though. He just sort of has to just drag that around the desert.
Never to
forever.
open it.
The Master of Masters also creates what he calls a Dream Eater in a little bottle, like he's a scientist, magic scientist man.
Okay.
Named Chirithy. Everybody gets their own as their own little companion, and if they start to look purple and darknessy, it's because the person has become consumed by darkness. And then
Their
after
Chirithy
setting,
is basically a representation of their soul or
yes,
heart or
and it's
whatever.
like the little Navi from Legend.
you know Pooh from Yu Yu Hakusho. It's
exactly,
that.
exactly.
They're the mascots.
And then after setting all this stuff up and getting everything in order and like doing some, like, I'm not going to cover the whole mechanics of all the interpersonal stuff. That doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
What matters is that he does some stuff that seems to set up conflict and set up the Keyblade War
Yeah,
when
the-
you look at it.
Yeah, the Master of Masters seems to purposefully let these things happen,
Yeah.
despite them being the things he warns against.
And then he just fucking disappears, and Lushu leaves. And then everyone's left behind, like, just sort of following his rules and eventually leading up to an inevitable Keyblade War. They all get different jobs to do, and that intentionally put them odds at each other, and eventually they start distrusting each other, and they try to kill each other.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in the mobile game,
yeah,
because none of that was the mobile game.
that was all
that
browser
was a
stuff.
movie.
I was
yeah,
gonna say I played a little bit of the mobile game. I don't recall that being dropped on
Well,
you.
we did watch the movie. For
Yeah.
that.
We did watch that movie.
Yeah, that was
the
the-
movie for the mobile game is happening over the course of the entire
Back cover
first half.
explains things happening in the background of the mobile game.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I was under the influence when I was watching the movie.
Meanwhile, the player avatar in the mobile game collects Lux, and the further in you go, the more tense things seem to get with the Keyblade War as it's brewing, and the whole thing with collecting Lux gets more and more competitive. All the while, there's a girl named Strelitzia, who is seeming to be crushing on your character, but never talks to you. But she watches you from afar.
Does that include if you choose a female character?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
It's never like overtly romantic, but it seems pretty romantic.
Just seems obsessive.
She's always watching you.
Yeah, she really likes you, and she's watching from afar like a stalker, and also there's a white-haired boy named Ephemer who you make friends with, who suddenly disappears, and your character seems to be really into him, like because you meet him for like a day. Also, Ephemer, short for ephemera, was something that's is ephemeral, is enjoyed for a short period of time.
Okay.
You only
Yeah.
see Ephemer for a short period of time.
Ah.
That's kind of neat.
There you go. That's clever.
Turns out Ephemer was
More clever than Keyblade, I think. Key.
It turns out Ephemer was drafted into a group of Keyblade warriors called the Dandelions, who are going to be tucked away into a data/dream world.
A mighty group of warriors, if there ever was.
When the Keyblade War happens, they're going to be put into a separate data/dream world.
Okay.
When the Keyblade War happens, in order to make sure that not everybody dies in that war.
Do they ever say that it's a data/dream world? I feel like they only ever
I've
go,
looked at
you
multiple-
have to prepare the other world.
Yeah, I've looked at multiple things. They keep referring it to a dream world and a data world constantly.
I just want to
So they want to have their dreams in data too.
Yeah. And so your character's offered to join the Dandelions and, not die. But apparently they need to think about that. They're like, let me think it over. Then you learn that there's this evil Chirithy who actually says they're your Chirithy. That has not been followed up on. Also, Tyler, you had a theory that Strelitzia's Chirithy was that one, but she has her own Chirithy. So that doesn't even work.
So
who the fuck is that?
I was thinking that still is Strelitzia's because.
But she has her own.
Okay, but you see that hers has a chair in her room, and yours just sits on the windowsill. So maybe only when you're awake is he there, and he's just coming in through the window. So he's going back to that comfy chair.
You're complicating this even more. We're moving on.
Wait. Quick question. So we're wondering whose Chirithy, the Dark Chirithy is.
No,
that it?
the Dark Chirithy says it's yours.
Oh, okay.
And you
just
also
don't know
have a
who the other
Chirithy that is not.
What if it's your
Heartless
Heartless's Chirithy though? What if it's your Chirithy's Heartless?
There aren't-
Did it time travel to tell you?
Heartless do
The
exist.
only person who can time travel in the phone game is Maleficent.
We'll get there. Don't get there before I get there. No, I'm going to get there.
Eventually, shit goes south. The Keyblade War happens. Everybody dies. It's actually pretty sad. Even you. But your character gets taken into the dream world at the last second, right before you die.
Oh, good.
You might die. It might be that you die. You look like you're dying, but you seem to go into the dream world. And Strelitzia is revealed to be one of the 5 faction leaders of the Dandelions in the dream world, in the separate world. Like, there's also going to be 5 leaders over there.
Oh, good.
Strelitzia is one of them.
Because that turned out okay.
She gets fucking murdered. We watch Strelitzia get fucking murdered. She crawls, and then eventually her heart just goes away, and she's dead. So she gets murdered. It's literally a murder mystery. However, despite that, 5 faction leaders show up in the dream world anyway.
Is dark.
Like 5 faction leaders show up in the dream world anyway after the Keyblade War happens.
Okay.
Ephemer, your white-haired friend.
All right.
Skuld, a girl who you meet earlier in the game, who's also a friend. Some guy named Brain.
Okay.
He's named Brain. I don't know why.
I'm sure he'll be fleshed out.
He's not smart. Like, especially he's just named Brain. Ventus shows up
Okay.
in the far-flung past.
Ventus is in the game?
Yes.
This game is ongoing, by the way, so some facts may still be being filled out.
Be developed.
He apparently existed way before anyone else in the series was born, including Xehanort. Except that's not quite true. Because Marluxia from Organization 13, the leader of the traitors of Organization 13, also shows up. His real name is Laurium.
Fuck.
Presumably, one of these people murdered Strelitzia and took her place, but we don't know who that is.
I'm going to say it's Marluxia.
It's heavily implied
You would
through the
think it's
cutscenes
Marluxia.
that it's him because he's the last one to show up when they all meet up.
Everybody who isn't a faction leader, including your player character, is lied to and made to forget the Keyblade War happened because it fucks them up. They have PTSD, literally. And in order to make them believe that Keyblade War is a dream, the Dream Eaters are in the dream world. The Dream Eaters are taking away those memories, and they dream about it, but they dream about it every single night. Everybody literally has
Just
PTSD.
every night they have nightmares
Yeah,
of
it's
their
really
war
fucked
that
up.
they lived in as a child.
It's really fucked up. And after they end the dream, they enter the dream world. We find out that Maleficent has traveled back in time into the dream version of a past version of the Sleeping Beauty world to try and stop herself from being defeated. She thinks she's in the real past version, but she's not.
Which is why she was asking about the data.
Yes, in Recoded, we learn that she's looking for a book of prophecies. She comes back to the past, also looking for a book of prophecies. She thinks she's in the real world, but she's actually in her dream world.
Oh, but we kind of skipped past it, and so does the game. In Dream Drop, Maleficent takes Minnie hostage to steal Mickey's computer.
Oh my God, you're right.
But
very much
that
happens.
But that doesn't. But they get forwarded, and then you just never see them again.
Anyway,
So we assume that she got OBS working.
What's the password?
and then she apparently got taught to try and travel by Xehanort. He taught her how to turn herself into a heart and go back in the past.
I wonder if that's what she's doing while everyone thinks she's dead at the beginning.
But she can't change her future and all. But a mysterious cloaked figure shows up and is like, you can't be here. You're gonna fuck shit up. So he teaches her how to go back forward in time to get out of there. So now 2 characters can just casually time travel.
That's good. I'm glad.
But yeah, the story isn't over. It is
up.
currently ongoing.
No.
We recently, as in a few weeks ago, learned that Lorium is Strelitzia's older brother, and he's looking for her. While looking for her, he runs into the somebody of another Organization 13 member, Larxene, known as Elrana in this version, like in her somebody form.
Is that what her name is? Her somebody name is?
With that,
Yeah,
without
somebody-
the X and
Elrana.
rearranged.
Who's
Okay.
also modeled after another member of Reno's of the Turks.
Yeah. This bit of the story, I had to find out through translated YouTube videos because it has only been revealed in Japan. We don't deserve to know
Yet.
about this stuff. And, that is it. That's all
That's
the story.
everything?
This is the origin of the game, and it's not even over yet. There might even be a new story released the day before Kingdom Hearts 3 releases, for all we know. So if you tuned into this thing, hoping to be fully caught up before you experience Kingdom Hearts 3, you can't! It's not gonna happen! You can be caught up to the story, but you will never be fucking prepared. You're not allowed to be. Nomura won't let you!
So, Kingdom Hearts is light.
And darkness.
Well, I don't think you
Or it's
quite
hearts.
understand. There's multiple Kingdom Hearts.
no, there's not. No,
Yes,
no.
yes, there is.
No,
Yes,
there
there is.
No.
There's
Are there as many Kingdom Hearts as there are Xehanorts?
No.
Oh,
There are as many
far
as
as I
there
know.
might be Kyrie, though.
okay.
Also, did you know about the Keyblade families?
What?
Wait,
Yeah,
wait.
you go into it.
So, can I
We're
have
not
the other
done.
Keyblade?
We're done with the lore.
Yeah, absolutely. Give him that Keyblade. He
We're
needs
done
to
with the lore,
know.
but we're not done with everything.
No, now we're getting into the minutia.
Wait,
Okay.
The minutia mouse.
Find out in Birth by Sleep, reading Xehanort's notes, that there are Keyblades of Light, which that Keyblades wielders use. Even Xehanort, who's a dark asshole. And then Keyblades of Darkness that exist in the Dark World that mirror all Keyblades. And then you find out that there's Keyblades of Heart, or a Keyblade of Heart, which is just the Keyblade. And there's only one of it.
Yes.
Then there's,
Keyblade.
Yeah, the Keyblade. You also find out that there's other Kingdom Hearts. Like, I'm gonna butcher this one. The Kingdom Hearts of Man, which is the one that they're trying to get into. The not as big Kingdom Hearts in the world between, which is the one they try to get in 1. I can't remember what the third one is, but they try to get it.
The real
and
one
it
in Birth
doesn't
by
work.
Sleep.
Yeah, the real one, the moon one.
But one of them is so the Kingdom Hearts of Man is the man-made one, isn't it?
It's the one that they make out of hearts.
It's them.
So it's not actually Kingdom Hearts.
There's only one.
Well,
there's
it's
only
like-
Kingdom Hearts.
referred to
It's
as Kingdom
like
Hearts.
a difference between a man-made lake and a naturally forming lake.
It's
They
like
are
how
both
we're gonna
lakes.
keep calling these people Soras. This is just gonna be different Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Like Minnesota was the land of probably a couple hundred lakes before man showed up.
So
Also, fun thing, they just keep leaving the digital world to meet up at the Keyblade graveyard.
yes, the leaders of the factions keep leaving the Dream World to go to the Keyblade Graveyard. So and the Keyblade War is what split all the worlds into different worlds. And they eventually got protective barriers around themselves to protect themselves from darkness.
Did these dandelion warriors, this mighty fighting force, come to exist because the Master of Master says, "Oh, by the way, everybody's about to die"?
Yeah, he actually told someone to make this.
Ava the
So it's still part of his plan.
Yeah, her whole mission was to recruit people to survive after the Keyblade War. And that's the dandelion.
We have no idea who the Master of Masters is. This has
Yes,
not
we
been
do.
revealed.
It's time travel Sora.
I love Kieran's theory.
I wanted to be Time Travel Sora.
That's Sora who's time traveled and
This is
lost
the
his
theory.
mind.
Rips out his own eye in order to see everything again.
Big blue eye, like Sora's got.
we kind of find out that they're not really in a dream. What was it? They're not really in a dream world in Dream Drop Distance. What was it? They're somewhere.
They were all in Sora's dreams. Like
Yeah, they traveled
Riku
into
was more
Sora's.
than that.
Riku was in Sora's dreams. Sora was in the dreams of the worlds that was in the dream
I
world.
want to say it's beyond that because the time travel Sora thing.
Okay.
So,
Okay, you're just now. This is just
Dream
people making
Eaters-
stuff up now.
This is fan theory.
Dream Eaters take away the memory of the Keyblade War. Is their only purpose is what they were created for in the mobile game, which happens right after the Keyblade War.
Okay.
At least when they get made. Time travel Sora, you find out that, or at least in Dream Drop Distance, Riku is acting as Sora's Dream Eater.
Yeah, he helps Sora
Taking
while Sora's
away
sleeping.
his memory of the Keyblade War. He's with him the entire time.
So you think Riku is a dream eater that is taking away Sora's
I'm just
memories
saying,
of time travel?
you don't think Riku's a real boy?
The moment Riku fucks off is when Sora gets a Keyblade.
So
He
you
starts
think Riku's
remembering
not a real
things.
boy?
Well, remember that Winnie the Pooh lost all of his friends because the pages were gone.
There you go.
All of a sudden, we're getting cross-dimensional messages
Some
here.
pages were missing from the Master of Masters book.
Now, did they remove the entire concept? Like, could Pooh still say the word Tigger? I don't recall him saying it until you get that page back with him in it.
Yeah, he couldn't remember them. He couldn't remember a thing, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Where is Christopher Robin?
You had a
You are
question,
Christopher
right?
Robin.
You said you had a question about the later games. Has it been answered?
Yeah, I thought it
Probably.
did. Yeah.
He had that question an hour and a half ago.
Here,
Do we feel
you have the Keyblade. You can talk.
do we
Okay.
feel like we somewhat understand what everything leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3 is to the point where you could go in and at least basically understand what's happening?
I feel like I'm worse off.
But
The mobile games really throw a wrench. Like that's kind of
I'm
the
not sure how much
roughest
the mobile
thing.
game factors in.
Yeah.
But Chirithy is in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, we have seen Chirithy in the cutscenes.
And
so-
presumably Master of Masters factors into things.
So hold on. Wait, just the fuck up. What? Okay. Let's forget all the fucking
Everything?
past stuff.
Okay.
Let's forget all the past stuff. Let's go with everything in the actual main line of games, not the mobile shit. Just main line of games.
Okay.
So,
What?
Kingdom
Well,
Hearts
hold on.
1,
What
2?
do you consider
What?
mainline?
No. 1, 2, all the
Console games.
Yeah, basically all the console games.
Okay.
none of the mobile
Everything
games.
minus phone.
Yeah, minus the phone in the movie. Throw that out. Because my pertinent question is, what is there what is 3 going to be about? What is it supposed to tackle
What is
next?
it- what is its conflict?
Yeah, what is the conflict
I
that is
think-
set up by these games, not the mobile games or that
no,
shit?
Ultimately,
the conflict is what's set up in the
what has been set up was at the end of Dream Drop, where Xehanort's like, "You're going to be my 13th boy," and Sora's like, "I don't want to be a dark boy," and then Xehanort's like, "Well, you're gonna. I'm gonna Nort you good," and now Sora has to fight him, but he's level 1 again.
Right, and I also know that he's going off to get Aqua. That's the whole premise of all right, well, that's what
Riku and Mickey are doing.
And I did gloss over this, but Xehanort mentioned that he's going to get his 13 Warriors of Darkness, and then they have to bring together 7 Keyblade Wielders of Light, and then they're going to clash, and that's going to give him his Keyblade.
Okay, so we got
And the Keyblade can get into Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
We got
and then
Sora.
after he gets Kingdom Hearts, he can make the world whatever he wants.
Okay, so we got Sora, we got Riku, we got Kyrie, we got Lee, we got Mickey. Aqua?
Ven, Terra.
Do they count? Because, okay, Ven maybe, but Terra's like a soul and doesn't maybe
And also
exist
part
anymore.
Nort.
Presumably, after Terra Nort's Nobody and Heartless were destroyed, if Xehanort comes back in his own body, I would assume Terra comes back in his own body as well.
We have to assume that Xehanort does come back in his own body, or is that already spoiled?
That is,
I mean,
that
we-
is
we've seen
full-on
him.
true.
Okay.
he has talked
He was
to
in-
Sora.
He was
Yeah.
in Birth by Sleep showing up, appearing because of that.
And who's playing chess at the beginning of that trailer?
Young Xehanort and young Ericus.
Okay, cool. That's
Baby
what I thought.
boys.
Yeah, okay, so.
They're not new characters.
Yeah, all right. So then, so our big conflict with 3 primarily is save Aqua, fight the actual Xehanort. Real fucking Xehanort.
Gather warriors, fight Xehanort, obviously fall into his trap.
Yeah.
and make
it's a JRPG.
Make a Keyblade and then fight shadow versions of everybody in boss rush mode.
And isn't Ventus back?
No, not that we know of. He can only come back if Aqua comes back.
Aqua needs to save him. I think Aqua is going to be a midpoint thing, maybe.
Wait,
but
no. Is it Vanitas? The fuck?
Vanitas was shown to be back.
Vanitas is back.
But that said, I think we should avoid talking about the trailers too much.
I'm not talking about trailers. I'm just making assumptions as to what I think is going to happen at this point.
I think we can let people, if people haven't experienced Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers and stuff, and they just want to go in, we should just let that be its own.
Yeah.
So then,
I only watched the ones that they showed at E3, and I was mad at myself for how much they spoiled.
I don't think they even spoiled that much.
They probably did.
It's probably early game stuff.
that's I agree.
They spoiled some Aqua shit, and I wasn't happy.
I think
about
everything we've seen so far, for the most part, except for a couple shots,
It's
has
in the
been
first 10
mid-game
hours.
things.
I think, and that's. I'm so curious because now that I'm all caught up, now that I understand what I'm going into, I'm kind of excited. I'm also sort of terrified. Terrified.
Oh.
Do you guys have any questions? About,
any other any questions?
Will Danny DeVito finally play Phil?
Yes.
Thank God.
One thing that we really didn't go into, or why they need to become masters. Do you know why?
Because they want to do the zippy moves
Then
that
they're
everybody else can
Keyblade
do and have the
masters.
armor. So that
then they get to be Keyblade masters, and they're masters of the Keyblade.
The only reason they needed to become Keyblade masters is because they needed a power of awakening, so they can go into the Chamber of Awakening to get Ventus.
Okay.
Which is just a room inside of Castle Oblivion that no one has been able to find ever.
Because they aren't
And
Keyblade
presumably-
I
masters.
look forward to that labyrinthine map.
Presumably nominate through her 5 degrees of Sora connection to Ventus, knows where Ventus is, and tipped Mickey off
Well,
with the data in the journal that Jiminy Cricket wrote.
It's heavily implied that they kind of push that under the rug and go, Aqua can only wake him up.
Yeah, and it's like, let's go with that.
well, Kingdom Hearts, it's finally almost here.
This is
And now you know.
Yeah.
This is the end of the Sora story, apparently.
No, this is the end of the Xehanort saga. Sora has not been said to be over. Sora will continue forever. Sora is love. Sora is life.
Maybe it's
And there
the
will be at least 23 more Soras.
Everyone is Sora, and everyone who isn't is Xehanort.
Everyone is Sora.
And some of them also, and some of those that are Xehanorts might also be Soras.
Sora might have maybe been a Xehanort almost.
Sora might be the first Xehanort.
Maybe Xehanort was the dad that had the boat all along.
And,
The real Kingdom Hearts was the friends we
and
made along the way.
You guys can decide whether or not you want to participate in this. I would like to like this is officially the wrap up thing. So thanks for watching, those of you who are watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I will edit this into a YouTube video. I hope you feel
Enlightened.
ready
I know, I am.
for the journey.
I'm ready.
And if not, I hope you're at least having fun.
I feel
During
lubed
this.
anyway.
Bye.
Kingdom Hearts! Woo!